hello, and welcome back to Beyond the Box. I was going to say, oh, hi, Sherry. Oh, Sherry. Sherry's in the chat. We're glad you're back, Sherry.
Yeah. Just been, AOA.
Taking some rest and relaxation time.
I wish.
That's
usually a lot of more rest than what I wanted. Couldn't stay awake 7:30. I'm like passing out.
Oh no.
It was bad. I don't know if it's out of boredom too and the mixture of everything else that happened, but
yeah, are you feeling better?
Yes, slowly. Monday they'll fix the meds that they put me on, so
good. Hi, Suzy.
Hey, Sherry. Hey, Brenda.
So Sherry, you missed it. It was pretty funny. When Suzy first put her earpiece, she bought a new earpiece, and her son had to come over and program it and everything. Hi, Jason. So apparently, when you start it up, it says what does it say, Suzy?
Ching Chow on or Ching Chow Chang or something like that.
Yeah. So her son says, "Mom, next time buy American." She says, "I don't know what it says." So she said it again. I said, "It says
power on.
Power on now. Power on."
Power on.
Ching Chow on. Ching Chow on or something like that.
It didn't say ni hao. It didn't say hello first. Ni hao.
Nope.
Didn't say anything like that.
I'm like, I said, that's what I get for being born by a Chinese lady. I get a Chinese headset now.
Yeah. Did you go outside and do anything? You didn't go outside and do anything today, huh?
Me or Sherry?
You.
Oh, me. I went out a little bit, but I mean, not really. Didn't just kind of went out to feed the dogs and kind of look around a little bit. It's just I waited till I was up all night, and then I went to bed about noon. So then I slept, and then I got up about the time the sun, because it was like 72 degrees early this morning, and then it went all the way up to the 90s, and it was so dang hot. I'm like, I ain't going out there in that 90-something degree weather.
Well, it was 87 here all day.
Yeah, that's pretty high.
And it, as a matter of fact, we have a storm moving in now. I'm hoping it doesn't disturb anything. Jack went outside, and it's blacker than black outside. He was like, "Oh my God, you should see what's headed our way." And I'm like, maybe we'll get lucky. Most of the time, it just goes around us. Like we're sitting in the middle, and it'll come towards us and then just do one of these things. Completely misses us. So that'll be good if that happens. So
yeah, it says it's 81 right now. So but it's still though when it's that hot, like that hot in the daytime, and the sun is out, and you get out there and you start doing stuff, it just wears you out,
Yeah. Yep, I know it. So tonight we're going to be talking about Michael AQUINO, Max SPIERS, UFOs, cloning, all kinds of things. That's what we're going to be doing tonight.
That's funny that I mentioned that earlier. There's a bunch of me's.
Many me's running around.
Yeah. I mean, I know the 3 I made, but my kids, I didn't make them.
I hear you. Those are your own personal clones.
Yeah.
Right?
Me's.
So, so Suzy, you want to get us started? What we got?
Well, okay. So I think what I want to do is we'll just show that first introduction of that video, talking about aliens. I think walking amongst us. Yeah, I think that's
not the first one.
Number one. I think it's number one.
Okay. Yeah, I've got number one pulled up. So.
Okay, and then what we want to do, Sherry, like me and Brenda were talking, is show the video, and then we can either stop the video somewhere, like if you want to stop it somewhere to say something about it, or wait till it ends, and like it's a shorter one or something, and then kind of talk about that.
Right? That sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead and get it.
Okay, so Robert Bigelow said to me, "They're walking among us." I said, "What do you mean they're walking among us?" He said, they're walking among us. They live right here.
This is one of the great questions in physics and philosophy, is where are the aliens?
You should know.
Maybe they're among us. I don't know.
You don't
one
have
of
to
them.
go anywhere.
You can find it here.
Yeah.
And some people have said maybe they're already here. Maybe the people we think are humans are actually avatars from an alien civilization that cloned them so that they appear to be like us. Who knows?
Perhaps selected just because their resemblance to humans would make me trust them. Some people think, well, maybe they just whipped up some kind of a android or something to inspire my cooperation.
Okay,
No.
so Robert Bigelow said,
So I know for a fact they're walking among us. Know about the rest of you.
Oh yeah, they are. You can tell. I mean, I can tell when they're in a person's body. They look like a person, but they're more like they're not as fluent as moving their body as much. They're more rigid. And if you look in their eyes, it's different. Most people can look in the soles of the eyes, but if you see like emptiness or it's if you don't see the spark back, it's kind of creepy actually, but I still keep on looking.
Right? So what do you
So
think?
what do you mean, Sherry? When you look at somebody, like, what do you mean that you see emptiness? What do you see?
Like inside their eyes, when you look in people's, because when I talk to people, I always look into their eyes when I'm talking to them. But for instance, there's this guy that I met once, and the first thing I saw when I saw him, I just instantly thought dark gnome. I mean, it's terrible. He doesn't look like a gnome, but that's all I got was a dark gnome. Like he's in this guy's body. And then when he took his glasses off and like got really close up with his eyes and stuff, they were this really rusty, weird kind of color. And then the pupil was just a round, kind of not super small, but small black. And he just makes sure it wouldn't blink or anything, that you're looking into his eyes, but there's like nothing there. But you feel that creepy kind of vacant
Ooh.
feeling. Yeah.
Dang, that's
Pretty
great.
Because I thought, well, geez, that's kind of mean to think, like I don't know this person. Wow, he reminds me of a dark gnome is the only thing I could think of. And then when he whipped his sunglasses off and started talking to me and making sure I'm looking at him like, is he giving me the evil eye? I don't know what he's doing, but, I'm curious enough that I stick around to, get the gist of what I could. This person doesn't take their garbage out. I never see them go to the store or anything and bring food in to their place.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Huh. Does that mean he eats out a lot?
No, I never see them leave that much.
Oh.
It's really, I don't know. It's, yeah.
Weird. Weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know about all aliens, but I do know that reptilians stink. So,
right.
I mean, I don't know if I've ever been around anything that wasn't a reptilian, but then again, maybe they all smell like that. Who knows? When I've smelt that in human form, I don't know.
You ever notice, like, okay, so like sometimes if I'm out in the woods or somewhere and there's snakes around, they have a certain odor that it's like a smells. Reptiles have a weird smell, so maybe it's just the smells are associated with the type of being, that is, okay? So if they're reptilian, they're going to have that smell of that lizard or that snake, that's kind of pungent smell or whatever it is,
Right.
The pungent smell.
I know what she's talking about. I've smelled
Yeah.
that. Just only on a few people. It's I don't know. They bathe and you can still smell it.
I mean, well, yeah, I guess so. I used to have a snake years ago. I had to get rid of her when I got married because my husband threatened to make a belt out of her. So, but so yeah, I guess so. But I didn't smell on it what I smell with the reptilians. So
it's probably a milder because you only had that
Could be.
one, and you probably kept it clean, the cage and stuff.
yeah, could be.
Yeah.
And then Jason asked if we thought, do you think that we are a product of Anunnaki genetic tinkering?
Definitely. Especially because of my research into the Bible, where it says, it says Eve says that she had a child with the Lord, which the Lord God or whatever gave her a child, which I'm saying is Cain and Abel. The twins were the Anunnaki, what they're calling Anunnaki children. So they were, I'm saying goes all the way back to the Loki bloodlines, which is reptilian and dogmen and stuff like that. That's why you had werewolves within the Jewish community. You had, so the reptilians are also. So I'm saying, but Cain kills Abel, so Abel's bloodline is gone. Okay,
Right.
but then you have Cain, and then you have the Canaanites. So I think that, and then that's where it says that the seed of Eve will be at war with the seed of Satan on the earth. So you're going to have two different bloodlines because supposedly Seth was the child between Adam and Eve that is of the seed of the humans. So the pure human line would be Seth's bloodline, and then Cain's bloodline would be the mixture, which would produce which would intermingle amongst the Seth bloodline. So you would actually have on genealogies, you'd actually have the seed of Satan marrying into the seed of Adam and Eve and Seth. So you would have some mixture. You would have some tampering of the DNA by the mixing of the. I think that's why they were so adamant about following certain bloodlines, like don't marry outside of this family or don't marry those people or don't. They don't want to mix it.
Right.
Yeah.
Keep it in the family.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, and it's just like,
Keep the
your
bloodline
royal
pure.
family.
Right.
Royal family only wants you to marry out of your royalty. So.
Right. Or
Yeah,
when they blend different families, like if they got one, what was it? Something about like if some families had a bloodline, but then they're called broken branches, where during generations they get separated from the tree of wherever they came from, and so they try to weave themselves back into through different marriages, and sometimes that's why they go and hunt for different people to bring in to their families or line. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've heard that also, like what you're saying, Sherry, like on that line is, say that line of Satan that's running through the humans, right? If it gets too diluted, then those beings can't what do you say, take over those bodies or whatever.
Right.
So that's why they try to make sure that they only breed certain ways, So the
Right.
bloodline is real important to them. Yeah.
Yeah, because they probably have to be able to, I don't know, dial in kind of to be able to pop in. But sometimes I had learned
I
that
think so.
they can pop into different people of families, that they don't usually have a body, but they can pop into one for a bit, like 5 minutes or for an hour, or pop
Like
into
possession.
another. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hi, Norma. So, what is the next one that you want to talk about?
Okay. Also,
Number
let me say
2?
something real quick.
Okay.
Go back to talking about that first video. I wanted to bring up. I have a friend. I can't really say who my friend is, but I have a friend. And my friend, uh, we had a conversation the other day, and somebody that I've known since childhood. Um, so this friend of mine had an encounter at a Walmart, and this being showed up. He could see it. His friend could see it, but nobody else in the Walmarts could see it apparently. And he's like, "Who are you?" Or like, "What do you want?" And "Do I know you?" And it wouldn't say anything. And it was. And then he said it was really weird because when he went outside of the Walmarts, um, this thing was like hovering in a like it was like something out of the movie Fantastic Four or something. It was like Silver Surfer, and it was on on a surfboard kind of thing with a handlebars. He said, that was kind of, but it was shaped different in the front. It was kind of triangular or whatever, but it was all black. It was like in like a black suit, and it had like jet.
Oh no.
It jetted out of here real quick.
Suzy
She'll be right back. I'm pretty sure.
I know what she's talking about. They've shown drawings of what was it, like some reptilians out in the woods, and a group of them that was in these kind of metal kind of things that they would fly around in. That kind of looked like a scooter.
Huh. Interesting.
It wasn't Ancient Aliens. It was something else, because I used to watch a lot of those UFO shows. She's back.
I'm back. What part did you not hear? Did I go off?
You jetted out.
Yeah,
I jetted out.
It jetted, and boom, you were gone.
So, did I tell you all the people at Walmart's were clones that he saw?
No.
And they were all okay. Every single person at the Walmart was a clone, and they all were like being beamed up to the ship that was on top of the Walmart. Oh. Every one of them, and then basically he said his friend and him could see this thing, and he's like, "Do I know you? What is your name?" And the thing said, "If you were from Switzerland, you'd know who I was." That's the only thing he said to him. And then he said he got in the taxi cab, and the taxi cab guy did not see this thing. Nobody else saw these things. Like they were just seeing all this stuff, and nobody else could see it. So he was kind of freaking out. And he had a close friend that's, kind of connected to the military kind of stuff, right? And that person said basically what the thing is they wanted to take him, abduct him. Yeah, I couldn't think of that word. And then study him and then clone him. That's what they want to do. So, it's like crazy, right? I'm like,
now, so had he have told anybody else, or that story not have been on this show, somebody might have said, "Okay, did you ask him what he was smoking or drinking?"
Right. Like I said, I've known this person since I was what, 16, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is a very, very, very close friend. Okay. So yeah, he was a little freaked out because he called me and I haven't heard from him in years, and he was a little freaked out about what happened to him and wanted to know what the hell was going on, basically.
There you go.
Yeah. So they do walk amongst us. I think that, and the more I've been studying about the rapture in the Bible, it is saying that two men will be in the same bed together. One's taken, one's left behind. You used to say two women grinding. Well, when you say two women grinding, that sounds like girlfriends.
Yeah.
Okay. It says that in the Bible. Two women are grinding, and one's taken, one's left behind. Now it says two men in the same bed. I mean, it's like saying men and women that are, in bed and grinding. Okay. I'm just putting it out there because that's the way it comes out. I mean, I'm not making this shit up. I'm sorry, but I'm not. I wish I were. I wish I was making it up. Huh?
Chad, I put the link to the show on your messenger in case you wanted to come up with us. Chad's in the chat.
Hey, Chad. So what I'm saying is, to me, okay. So here's what gets me in the book of Daniel. It always said, "Seal this up until the end times, and then seal this up. This information. This will be sealed up. This knowledge and this information about what's going to happen at the end." And it will be released at the end time. So I think what's happening with the Mandela effect in the Bible is those things that have been sealed up are now being revealed to us. So they talk about. So what I'm saying is, if you've got, okay, two, let's just say, like the scripture says, two men in the same bed together. Okay, one is taken, one is left behind.
Right.
Okay, that to me sounds like a beam me up Scotty kind of thing, and one's getting beamed up into a spaceship, because the only mode of transportation I know on this planet, whether it be spiritual or physical, is UFOs, motherships or whatever. That's the only, a beam, you get beamed up and then you go to a ship and then they get taken off planet. So, personally, it says the meek shall inherit the earth. So, I'm staying down here. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. If they keep on picking people up and taking them off, well, where'd they going? While the rest are here, well, maybe we're the ones that are left are the ones that are the meek that are supposed to stay. Or maybe those are not real people. Maybe they're collecting their own beings, people, whatever they are.
Taking them off planet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the doppelgangers, the clones, they're taking those and they're leaving the people behind. Yeah.
Right.
That's what I think. I think it's a lot weirder than we thought it was, and only information you had before is what you based your opinion on, but now that these scriptures are all indicating something else, it's like, it's like something is being revealed and it didn't get revealed until just recently.
Right.
So
Rebecca wanted to know version about women grinding, Suzy.
Two men will be grinding in the field, and one will be taken, one will be left behind. It's in the, if you Google those words and you put Bible, if you go to Google and you say two women grinding, or you say two men in the same bed, and then you put Bible, it'll take you to those verses. It'll give you like all the different Bible verses, and what you can look up all the translations. Like you can choose whatever translation you want from whatever Bible. It's, thank God for Google, because you can instantly find these scriptures just by having a few of the words and typing it in,
I don't trust Google.
Well, you don't have to trust it, but it's like a library if you know how to operate it. It's like you don't have to go down to the library anymore and look for all these books. Now you can just touch the screen, and you can look up scriptures, because they'll have there's a couple websites that just give you Bible verses, and then you can go to the top of it and you can get every translation that you want. Like if it's in the Geneva or the King James version, and you can. So it's a pretty handy little tool, is all I'm saying,
Right.
She's laughing about the men grinding. Come on. Grinding and then men in bed, in the same chapter, same verse.
Well, they were using the grinding for the millstone. The women used to grind up the mill,
the field, and the men in the bed.
That's what you would have thought until the next verse pops into this new reality where these two men are in bed. Then
it'll change. Wait.
Yeah. Like a chameleon, man. You just, it's just going to take on different shape and color and everything else,
The two purple ponies. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Matrix? What happened to the womb? Oh, it turned into the Matrix. Okay.
I know. They just keep messing with everything. Leave it all alone.
Or it's just like it says, or these things are now being revealed to us at the end.
It could be that we're seeing things that we read over and over before, but didn't see it with new eyes.
Sealed up. Yeah, it was sealed up until the end.
Right.
And it wasn't meant to be revealed until the end, you know.
Well, like the saying, your scales, the scales. So what's the scales that come off your eyes? Is it reptilian scales? Is it, you know?
Yeah, right?
Off your eyes? What?
It's to
Wait.
see. You can't see those that can't see.
That
'cause they have-
saying?
Oh, yeah. Okay. For a minute there, I was a little worried they added something else.
Well, they always do.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
just like that. Poof.
I know. I know it. So, the next video you had on here was Max Spears. Is
Okay.
that the one that you wanted to play?
The number 2?
Yes.
Okay, if it's the second one, let me look real quick. I'm gonna go to your page and make sure that's where I sent it. Let's see. Gosh, and I sent you all kinds of funny videos after that too.
I know. You
I
did.
know.
You always do that to me.
I flood her feed. I'm telling you, man. I'm like, everything I watch. Oh, I sent it to Brenda. Oh, I sent that to Brenda.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, because you had wait a minute. Oh, for Pete's sakes.
I think it's third one, but I can be mistaken. I think. Okay, so
it's number 2. Hang on a second.
Number 2 would be.
Let me.
Lieutenant Mike.
You know
Colonel
what?
Michael
Yeah.
Aquino.
Okay, I got that one.
All right, let's watch
yeah.
that. We want to watch Aquino before we watch Max.
Okay, we're gonna watch Aquino before we watch Max. Gotcha.
Okay.
Let me take that one off so it doesn't come back on there, because I did have it already in here.
Yeah, I think this was a pretty good condensed, put together video on him that could explain to a lot of people who and what was going on with him.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we need to hear it, don't we?
Well, yeah.
Psychological Warfare Division, and the people running one of the worst and widest-ranging child exploitation rings in the history of the country. They're all Tool fans? Nope. This guy, Lieutenant Colonel Michael Aquino.
Aquino?
Right, so this is a topic that I've had requested a couple times, and I've been struggling to figure out how to distill the topic into a cohesive video. So delving into this topic is sort of like getting asked for a plot summary of Metal Gear Solid, where it's just like, shit, okay, how much time do you have? So instead, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make this into a multi-part series, covering all the connections and sub-connections through a video structure of assembling one of those Pepe Sylvia, like, red string cork boards. So to begin, let's go back to the 1960s. Let's start with the man himself, Michael Aquino, a highly decorated military officer, a satanic priest. He confirms this, and alleged prolific child abuser. He does not confirm this. More on those second 2 points later. During the Vietnam War, he spent multiple years involved in clandestine operations, highly likely and generally assumed to be as a part of the Phoenix program, although this has never officially been confirmed on the record. The Phoenix program, largely considered both a precursor to modern psychological warfare as well as a dick move. The Phoenix program was an operation that primarily involved torturing people for information, to send a message, to scare people, keep them in a state of distrust and paranoia. Additionally, it also developed psychological warfare techniques to demoralize the Viet Cong, including the infamous spooky ghost voices telling you to surrender in Vietnamese tape that we played loud as shit from airplanes flying around at night. The methods developed here will later be rolled into Operation Gladio, a fascist-aligned strategy of tension deployed in communist or former communist countries. This will come into play later on. Foreshadowing. It's kind of a Chekhov's gun thing. Aquino's experience in Vietnam more or less directly led to his later career as basically the father of modern-day psychological warfare, as described in his paper From PSYOP to Mind War, which describes the methods and goals of psychological warfare. That's right, this guy is the person who came up with the term PSYOP. So everything thus far is probably reasonably expected information. Let's move on to the more unexpected side of things. Michael Aquino was a Satanist, being a high-ranking member of Anton LaVey's Church of Satan.
Okay, can I just say I hate the way he says Michael Aquino?
Well, you know why? Because apparently Aquino liked to be called Queen. Okay, just saying.
Oh, all right. Well, I
because
don't.
he liked boys and girls.
So he's making it into a slur of, more. He's doing it on purpose,
Oh,
deliberately. Queen.
okay. All right, now that
Yeah.
makes more sense. He's making fun of him. Okay,
Right.
I gotcha.
Well, actually, yeah, AQUINO liked to be called AQUINO. I mean, that's weird too. Just saying.
Well, he wasn't exactly an all-together guy, anyways. Have you seen those eyebrows?
Oh, he's kept those eyebrows like that forever.
Like a hoot owl. Yeah, like a hoot owl. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, to be clear, there is nothing inherently evil or wrong about being a member of the Church of Satan these days, given that it's basically goth atheism. However, in AQUINO's case, he was not really worshipping Satan.
Wait a minute.
And
What happened? Oh, okay. There it goes. Wait a minute. Hang on a minute. I did something. There he is. Okay. Hi, Chad.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I was pushing buttons and it was all going sideways. All right. Back to the video.
split off into a theistic satanic sect, the Temple of Set. He formed the Temple of Set with his wife Lilith, who ran a New York coven called the Lilith Grotto. This is her. Side note, pictures of these two together are invariably hilarious. There's a lot of bad things to be said about Michael Aquino, but credit where credit is due, I can't fault him for having a thing for the Goths. Now, on to the third major aspect of him.
Whoa.
Wait.
Yeah,
So you're telling me that in addition to being the father of modern psychological warfare and coining the term psyop, this dork is also the LeBron James of child abuse? Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying. But look at him. Those don't look like the eyebrows of a satanic pedophile.
Oh my God.
All right, now time to get into the much darker side of the video. There is extensive documentation of the details of the abuses alleged, most of which I will be omitting unless the details are specifically relevant. This is for a number of reasons, not the least of which being that it's gross and weird to luridly describe the details of horrific crimes against children. I can assure you, however, that they were not fans.
No.
The Presidio scandal. In 1986, allegations of sexual abuse were raised against teacher and Baptist minister Reverend Gary Hambright, who taught at the Presidio Child Development Center at the Presidio base in San Francisco. Upon finding significant physical and psychological evidence of abuse amongst children in Hambright's class, including at least 5 of whom had contracted chlamydia, the children were later questioned and mentioned being taken out of the classroom into a private residence, where they were also abused by 2 other adults who they called Mikey and Shamby. The kids had a consistent description of the house as having a dark interior filled with all kinds of satanic stuff, as well as a soundproof room with soft material lining the walls. Additionally, when driven around the area, multiple victims separately identified the same house as the one that they'd been taken to. Now, who are the owners of the house? Now, this might surprise you, but Michael and Lilith Aquino.
Oh.
Shocking. Now, where did Aquino work at the time? The Presidio base. The cops got a search warrant, searched the house, and dark interior, lots of satanic crap, padded room, tons of video cameras and equipment, all checks out. So, this seems pretty bad, right? Presumably he gets prosecuted. He does not get prosecuted. A fact that Aquino maintains proves his innocence. There were several setbacks to the investigation, including a pair of fires about 3 weeks apart that destroyed Hambright's classroom in the development center, as well as one in the administrative building next door where Aquino worked, in which a number of unnamed records and documents were destroyed. Now, despite the Army's insistence that these 2 fires were accidents and unrelated, the ATF was adamant in their reports that the fires were arson. Yep, that's right, I said the ATF.
So basically what this guy is saying is back in the 80s, all of our parents were just too naive to understand what was going on. I mean, I wouldn't have
It was a cover up. It was a cover up. He worked for the higher ups. He was in the White House, okay, all the way. He was at the Vatican. He was everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. And they protected him.
Good God.
Do you have any idea how evil and or willfully bureaucratic you have to be to make the ATF look like the reasonable ones. Aquino claims the positive chlamydia tests are inconclusive because they were only preliminary positives and were somehow misplaced and then disappeared before a full lab result sheet could be recorded. Alright, so why was he not prosecuted? To answer that, we have to do a quick run-through of a different kitty diddling scandal that he was implicated in. The Franklin scandal from the last episode. Alright, here's the spark notes. In Paul Bonacci's testimony against Lawrence King, he identified Aquino only as the colonel, but was able to pick him out of a lineup and described him as the ringleader as well as King's direct superior. Lawrence King's photographer, Rusty Nelson, identified Aquino as the man he had seen King hand over suitcases full of cash to. King had reportedly told Nelson that Aquino had been involved in the Iran-Contra drugs for guns affair. Now, Gary Webb, of Being Murdered for pointing out the CIA's connection to the crack epidemic fame, and strangely, also a reporter for the same newspaper that initially broke the Presidio story, the San Jose Mercury News, brought up this guy, Joe Ruscianello, as an involved party in the Iran-Contra thing. You know, the same scandal that multiple other witnesses implicated Aquino as being involved in as well. So, how does this all relate? Well, the question that we were asking was, why was Aquino not prosecuted for the Presidio thing? Well, let's look at who the San Francisco DA was at the time. This guy, Joe Ruscianello. He was the U.S. Attorney for the Northern California District, and he was the person who declined to prosecute Aquino on federal charges. So, that might have something to do with it. Alrighty, this video has gotten long and convoluted enough as it is, so this feels like a good stopping point. If you guys like the stuff I've been covering recently, let me know. I'm happy to keep doing it. Anyways, like and subscribe.
Well,
There you go.
I think that he has his hands in everything.
Yeah, you can see him from Vietnam, which my friend Chet was sent in to assassinate him in Vietnam. Well, in Cambodia. Apparently, Aquino became a Satanist in '76 or whatever. He went into Cambodia. He was killing American soldiers, Cambodians, Vietnamese. Chet was recruited. They made the movie Apocalypse Now about the whole report. Okay, he was recruited to go in there, take him out. Chet said he flew in. When he got there, he was poisoned, stabbed, and got gangrene and had to be rescued. And Aquino got away. And Chet was not the first one that was sent in. Okay, I think he was like the third or the fourth to go in, and he was unsuccessful. So I said, well, then why didn't they, get him after that? He said, because they forgave him. The government did. Because they found out that Aquino could summon all these demons, and therefore he was beneficial. And so they gave him a job within the military, and that's where he was running the psyops, and he was connected to everybody. And so he was an asset to the government. Yeah.
And Sherry, this is Chad. I don't think that you've got a chance to meet him. She's been gone sick for a while.
We're familiar with each other, though. We say hi in the chat and everything. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. Chad's going to be helping me during the week. I'm going to also start doing shows during the week. Chad and I are going to do a truth plus a little political shows. So we're going to be doing those. Whenever you feel up to it, you're more than welcome to come on with us, because we know that's right up your alley too. And Suzy, and Suzy, we're still going to do the shows on the weekends when she's not out at the shows, but that's not going to be till September, because she's got to wait for it to cool off. It's just too hot. They've got too much going on. So it's too much for the cows and the horses. Suzy was telling me the other day that somebody was out running cows and stuff, and one of them just dropped over and died from the heat. So,
that's terrible.
Yeah.
That is.
So she tried to keep she can't do that to her horses, and she doesn't like it either. No heat.
Too hot here. I mine the house for the animals because it's just in case the air goes out. I can't.
Right.
There's no way.
Oh, my air goes out. My landlord will be buying me a hotel room, and me and all my animals will be going there. until
I
they
don't
fix
have that choice. I have to man it down, or woman it down.
it. Hold it down.
Hunker down. Make sure that home's safe.
Right. So, it just seems that with Michael Aquino was, well, because of the military and everything, and he was just in everything. And our military let him do this. I mean, he's the one who brought Satanism into the military. So
that's what Chet told me. Chet said that's when everything he said went to shit, was once Michael Aquino got in there. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was on Oprah after the incident with the daycare. Him and his wife were on Oprah, and they were talking about it. Because I remember seeing that.
And Geraldo, too. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that one. I seen the Oprah one back in the day when they, put it on.
Well, let me tell you, all the Satanists stick together.
Well, yes, they do.
What does that tell you?
A lot.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And he was at the top.
Huh?
I believe he was at the top, allegedly.
Yeah, for the military and the Satanism. Yeah. Well, I think that first there was like Aleister Crowley, and then Anton LaVey, and then Aquino. I don't know why he didn't step into the limelight of the Satanism beforehand. Maybe he was too busy mind controlling and torturing children. So, just saying.
He's written 4 books. I have them. I haven't read them yet. One's Firestarter. It's his sort of like Star Wars, but it's
he was into that.
And then the Mind. I've got like
Mind Wars.
Yeah, I got all 3 of those and the other one. I haven't started reading them yet.
Yeah, he talks all about. He has like a whole thing on vampires and werewolves, and he says, people are so stupid they don't think these things are real, and this stuff is real.
Yeah,
like they're living amongst us. Yeah, Michael Aquino wrote a whole bunch of stuff on that.
Yeah.
And did he also have access to Area 51? Is it called?
Yes. Yeah, he had access to everything.
Everything. Yep.
He had highest clearance because he actually worked at Cheyenne Mountain for 2 years with the Stargate program. He worked at the Montauk program. He worked at all these places.
I see.
He actually, Chet said he had a school in Hawaii, and a lot of the military people were taken down there and then chipped and then put in the program. So that was where the military went, was to Hawaii. He said that's where he met Aquino, was in Hawaii later. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then afterwards, they transported him where? To Canada, I believe, and then to England or abroad.
Well, he went everywhere. Yeah.
In a castle.
Germany.
Yeah.
I believe he was living in a mansion/castle.
Well, he built another temple in Australia. He had a temple of Set. He said he was the Egyptian Satan Set from Egypt. That was him, so that's why he called it the Temple of Set. And then he built that one in San Francisco, California.
He built one here in Austin.
Do you have that address?
Texas?
Because I cannot find that house, and I was looking for it while the video was happening, because I remember seeing it online before.
I think that you might be able to look it up and just put his name and house in San Francisco. It may be.
I'll deep dive.
They might do it. They might scrub it. Who knows? I mean,
yeah. He also lived in Missouri for a long time too. That was what I heard. And
Missouri?
Yeah, Missouri. He lived in Missouri. Yeah. And then
a lot of old world architecture there, so I'm sure there's a lot of underground things.
Yeah.
They say the biggest underground base is under St. Louis.
Don't know. Never been there.
I was there on my way to see someone that you all know. His name starts with an R. And then I went as far as my taxi drive took me, and then it took me right back to the car dealership, and then I had to go right back to the airport. and head home, and that was my experience of that. Yeah.
Oh, yay.
But I was in Missouri for a little while, and it was pretty awesome looking. I just wished that I could have just stayed there and looked at the architecture that was all around. It was pretty old world.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Huh. I wonder why. I mean, Steve would be definitely interested in that. He loves the architecture. So.
Me too. I can geek out on that for a long time.
You can geek out on it.
Yeah, and there's interesting programs that you can watch, that kind of like allow you to deep dive into it and explore like why the architecture, not just who and how, but why, because it all serves a purpose. It's kind of like the insects, per se, they all build their structures and everything according to nature and way better than we could ever do.
Yeah.
Bees and wasps.
You hear that, Suzy?
Termites and such, but this old world architecture. Yeah.
We can just get ants to build it for you.
Well, I think they're working on that science.
I know, right? They're spending trillions of dollars to teach ants how to build homes.
Oh, no.
That's why they're building robots, I guess. Let the robots do it.
Oh, we got that. My son and I saw one of Elon Musk's robot at the Tesla. There's a Tesla dealership down the road from us, and we drove by it. He's like, I think there's one in. So when we looped back around, we saw it. Yep, it's right when you walk right in. It's one of his, robot dudes.
Oh, God.
I saw a video of a guy walking across the street and had his little robot behind him. And he's walking across the street. And he gets up on the curb, and there were these pillars, and the robot walked into the pillar, hit it, fell down, and a car coming around the corner ran him over.
Oh, no.
And drug him. It's like,
I know it's not real, but still.
Whoops.
Oh, my God. Oh, God.
You killed my robot. Robot gets up, his head's hanging half off. I'm okay.
Yeah, right. I'm sure it costs a guy a lot of money.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
All right. So what we have next is the day before he died, what he said. Yeah. If anything happens to me, investigate. Is that the one you want to play?
It would have been number 3, right underneath that, whichever one that is. Right.
Well, it should be Max Spears. Yeah, I think this was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That's him? That one?
Okay. I think so. I can't see because I'm not. I have to go back in there and look
That's
again.
him.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Some strange things started happening to me.
Max Spears was a conspiracy theorist. He died in July 2016 on a sofa in Poland.
Coming to Poland has been tumultuous, to say the least, to stop me from coming to Warsaw to be able to convey this information to you.
Max died in the home of Monica DeVal.
Monica answered. She was hysterical and she said, yeah, he's dead. He said, if I don't survive this, Mum, then you have to make sure that you look into it.
Explain also who is Michael Aquino.
He's a colonel. He is, wow, don't mind saying that, do they? Must hit backhanded with that one. He's a colonel. He knows very well who I am. There will be at some point a showdown between him and I.
Lawyer Cynthia Angel tried to subpoena Michael Aquino for a child custody case. Within days, she was...
He says Aquino too.
Yeah.
God!
I'm telling you.
It's going to irritate you so much.
It is!
I know.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I think I'm ready.
Hearty welcome, Max. Proszę wielkie brawa dla naszego super żołnierza.
Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel.
Today I want to talk about what happened to Max Spears. Max Spears was a conspiracy theorist who was found dead on his friend's couch. And then weird things started happening in the investigation. First, there was no autopsy. Then there was an inconclusive autopsy. Then when Max's mom got his laptop and phone back. They were wiped completely clean, and he was investigating and researching things. So as you can imagine, he was a conspiracy theorist. It was in the conspiracy theory community, so they were conspiracy theories. So as usual here on my channel, I'm going to give you guys the facts. We'll talk about the theories, and then you can decide for yourself. Thank you to my subscribers. I just want to mention real quick that I am aware of what's going on with Lori Vallow, and I do have a video coming up. It's taking me longer than expected, but look out for that. It should be my next video. And if you are new here, hi, I wear a tinfoil hat, obviously, and I talk about true crime and conspiracies. So let's talk about them. So the whole thing started when Max was found unresponsive in Warsaw, Poland. Max was British, and he went to Poland for a convention that he was speaking at. It was at this convention that he met Monica Duval. Monica is the person whose apartment and couch he was on when he died, and Monica was there when he died. He died 2 months after moving in with Monica, and 2 days before he died, he texted his mom. He said, "Your boy's in trouble. If anything happens to me, investigate." And then something happened to him. So of course, you can imagine the mother was like, oh, I need to look into this. I need to investigate. Monica was a sci-fi author, and she was his girlfriend, his friend, his lover. It's hard to tell. It's a bit complicated. We'll get into that a little bit later, but they were said to have a, quote, intimate relationship. Now, according to Monica, he was on her couch, and then she noticed that he was unconscious, and so she tried to resuscitate him, and when she did that, she said he vomited 2 liters of black liquid.
Monica answered. She was hysterical, and she said, yeah, he's dead, he's dead, he's dead, he's dead.
This is when weird stuff started happening in the investigation. The first responders did not take Max's body and preserve it to do an autopsy or anything like that. Once they pronounced him dead at the scene, they left him there. They didn't collect his body until 11 a.m. the next day. Before an autopsy, they said that he died from natural causes just from looking at him. They said he didn't have any visible injuries, bruises, cuts, anything. We were told 2 years after this all took place that 2 police officers were removed for disciplinary reasons. Then we also found out that the first responders had varying accounts of what happened. According to Max's mother, quote, there were a number of discrepancies. Sorry, her solicitor, her attorney, said that there were a number of discrepancies in the first responders' accounts of what happened. According to Max's mom, after they left and the body was still at the house, when she was talking to Monica on the phone, she heard really weird things. But I'm getting way ahead of myself because we need to talk about the weird things that happened in the investigation. When Max's mom got the laptop and the phone from authorities, it was wiped clean. She said that she knew that he had stuff on his laptop and phone, but when she got it, there was nothing there.
His case came with him, but it didn't have his laptop or his phone. A couple of 3 weeks later, she sent it, but there was no SIM card in the phone, and there was nothing on the computer at all. Somebody had clearly, definitely wiped everything off of it.
The other thing too was that the Polish authorities did not want to give Max's mom any paperwork. So she had requested all the paperwork that they could give her about the investigation, what happened, blah, blah, blah. And she said, quote, all I have is a death certificate from the Polish authorities that it was from natural causes, but no post-mortem was done. So how can they tell that? They are also refusing to release any paperwork about it to me because, absurdly, I don't have his written permission. I would imagine it's difficult to get his permission when he is dead. All of that combined had people wondering what was going on. This kind of looked like a cover-up or, you know, like extreme incompetence. I don't know. The media went to them and asked them, why didn't you conduct an autopsy?
Mogliśmy między innymi przeprowadzić kluczowych w tego typu przypadkach sekcji zwłok.
And they said that actually the reason why they didn't do it is because by the time they wanted to do it, the body was already sent over to...
All right. One thing. The paramedics did not remove him from the house. Why is that? They're not supposed to just leave a dead body laying in somebody's home. That doesn't happen. I would be asking that question myself, honestly, if I was his mother. Because that's crucial. I mean, anything could have happened to him, been cleaned up, had stuff taken care of, what have you, anything. You're not supposed to touch a body until it gets to the coroner. So and the lady let them leave him there overnight like that.
That's gross.
That is crazy.
That's gross.
I mean,
it don't make sense, does it?
No.
On a normal level.
And I mean,
that would not happen in the United States.
No. That's a big no.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can understand, okay, she didn't get his stuff back for 3 weeks. So yeah, they took it, they wiped it all out, took everything off his computer, everything off of his phone, everything was gone. So that leaves his mother in a hard place, doesn't it?
Well, there was, like Sarah Adams and Monica and stuff like that. They did a huge try to resurrect him. From what I understand, they were trying to, bring him back.
Well, that would have made those paramedics look really silly, wouldn't it have? I mean, wow. Okay, back to the girl with the tinfoil hat. I think that's cute. We all need tinfoil hats. Okay.
I'll go make
the
one.
UK because, right, Max is British. Now we are in the UK. We're no longer in Poland. They do an autopsy and guess what? Inconclusive. The police in the UK then decided they were going to conduct their own investigation, and while that was going on, the internet streets were talking and a theory began to emerge. Also, real quick, this is my first sponsored video ever, so I have sold out. No, but seriously, this video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is a learning community with thousands of online classes. It's a great place to explore new skills, or you can develop existing interests. Inspiration strikes, but that actual professional creatives usually this. Let's get back to the video.
Yeah, please.
Before Max died, he told more than one person that a satanic cult was after him, and he even told an ex-girlfriend that where he was at, Monica's house, that he was being held against his will. Her name is Sarah Adams, and she said he was terrified. He wanted to leave. He wanted to come back to England because we were going to get married and have a baby. He was the love of my life. He rang me secretly because they wouldn't let him talk to me, and he said he was trying to get away from them. They were doing very dark black magic and satanic rituals to deprogram him and get rid of demons. He said they had given him something that had put him in a coma for 2 days. It wasn't easy to just walk out because the house is in a remote forest with an electric fence around it. He said something demonic is going on. He said he needed to get out and find a church or a holy place, but 2 days later he was dead. They were doing some kind of black magic on him. Just to clarify here, you've got this intimate relationship that Max was having with Monica in Poland, and then there's this ex-girlfriend that he's saying he wants to marry and have a kid with back home. So that is happening. And then Max's mom came out, and this is when she told media what she heard on the phone the night Max died. The police and the doctor all went off and left my son dead.
Okay.
Well, I talked to Sarah after, because I had talked to Max, about 30 days, and I'd warned him about not going in that cave or whatever. That I warned him against that. Okay, not because that was where he was going to get killed by Michael Aquino in the astral plane, because the demons. Okay, so what's interesting about everything that Sarah just said is Sarah called me after Max died and sent me her text, and he was staying at Monica's. From everything she told me in the text, they had broken up, and they were going to get back together again, get married, and they wanted to have a child. That was the plan. But he was going through this thing that she was describing, and there were demons involved because that's what part of the programming, what I was talking about, when they fracture you and they make altars, part of what Aquino was doing was implanting demons. So, and then they can activate those demons within those little bubbles of fracture, within a person. So he was apparently, you know, in a battle in the astral plane, and Michael Aquino became a scorpion and stung him. This is why he had all this black goo coming out of him. So I had the text that she sent me from Max to her, and he was running 104 fever after all this stuff, But he was in a, it is, the thing about the demons is everything. Everybody wants to say that, maybe there's people that really hate Sarah Adams, right? But Sarah was maybe 99% telling everything the way it really was. Maybe there's a little bit of deviancy. I don't know. That kind of throws people off with her. But pretty much that's the way it was. Now, with Monica, from what I understand, he was sleeping on the couch. Okay? If you're sleeping on the couch, you're not sleeping in the girl's bed. I'm just saying. I mean, you can take it for what you want, but, he was actually on the couch at Monica's.
Now,
okay.
I've been stung by a scorpion before, and the black stuff sounds more to me like a poison witchcraft, which they say they were doing. Now, was the witchcraft done in the astral? Possibly. So, I mean, did they...
Well, he actually told Chris Johart. I don't know if people know who she is. She was one of Max's girlfriends. Okay. And I'm friends with Chris. I like Chris. I've always liked Chris. She lives in England. And what Chris told me was that Max told her, okay, that he went to this weird place. He went into the astral plane. He encountered Michael Aquino. Michael Aquino was a scorpion and stung him. And that is what happened. And that was from Max's to Chris. And that's what Chris told me. So,
well, now, what I'm curious about is the black stuff that she said he threw up. First of all,
well, it came out of his nose, his eyes, his ears, his privates. He was oozing black out of every hole in his body.
But so the paramedics didn't put this down anywhere?
It was recorded. Yeah, it was recorded. But they were inconclusive about, what it was or what, they didn't, well, maybe they knew, maybe they didn't want to say. I don't know.
Now that I would take, because if you take a body into a corner and it's got black stuff coming out of every hole in their body, they're going to want to know why, and they're going to do an autopsy. Okay?
Yeah.
So somebody told them not to do that, not to look into that. So that's where I'm going with this.
And it could be black goo, considering the fact that he's talking about being SSP, and they claim that to be something to be actual, and it'll vacate the body upon death.
Yeah.
It won't
there you go.
And they say, it will exit. And they were very secretive about what they did with him afterwards, in regards to hiding the paperwork and rushing certain procedures before certain things could be done.
Yeah. Because if he was chipped and everything, they probably want to remove all those chips or whatever. Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And Rebecca asked, how did he know that Aquino was a scorpion? Or if it was a scorpion, how do you know it was Aquino?
Because he said he was in a battle in the astral and he turned into a scorpion in the astral plane. Like if you were having a dream and then you saw somebody and then they turned into something. basically.
Yeah.
So,
like what I seen when I was there with the name shall not be mentioned, and I seen her turn into something different, like went
you
from
did?
normal person to witch, like evil looking, bad looking.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of like a shapeshifter, yeah.
Kind of, yeah. So, all right. Are we back to this? Let me see. Everyone I've seen. Oh, D never leaked black.
You know what? There is somebody out there that claims Max Spears to be not a psyop, but controlled opposition.
That
and
he
she does
Well-
videos on this. And I'm not
Well,
sure
Max.
that.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that was it.
Oh, well, Max grew up in England, and a lot of people didn't know this, but he grew up with Orlando Bloom. Orlando Bloom was like his best friend, right? Yeah, as kids and stuff. And what's weird about that is Orlando Bloom goes to be in a movie called The Kingdom of Heaven, where he becomes Richard the Lionhearted, who tries to lead the Crusaders to bring Jerusalem back, to England, right? In that movie. Well, what's weird about that is Max said when they went to that church in Canterbury, they were raped repeatedly by the Catholic priest there, and so the weird that is so weird, and that him and Orlando, he says that they put some of Orlando's consciousness into him and some of his consciousness into Orlando. So they had like shared consciousness somehow, like they downloaded it or in his brain, or I don't know how they did that technology wise, but
right.
Now the weird thing. Well, let me finish real quick. So the weird thing about that is Max claims to be the reincarnation of Richard the Lionhearted, who was the Crusader. Okay, so what's weird is that his best friend Orlando plays in a movie about being like Max in a past life. I mean, that's weird, right? And my genealogy goes back to King Henry II, and John of the Magna Carta would have been one of my grandfathers, but Richard would have been one of my uncles. And so my genealogy and Max's are very similar. We have the same sort of tree that we came down, So, but it's and Max's Vanessa's father was a big actor who was on like Mutiny on the Bounty and stuff like that. And when I was taken away from Ohio by my mom to the Virgin Islands, I met this guy named Maurice who had the ship of Mutiny on the Bounty, and I got to go on that ship. And Marlon Brando was on that ship, and so it's like these weird connections that I had in my life too, my genealogy, and then this whole thing, Michael Aquino and all these connections. It's just like everything is just kind of like wrapped up like weird.
Yeah. Now, Rebecca, yes, and it does come out like coffee grounds if it's a liver. Also, bowel obstructions, they come out black and looking like coffee grounds, different stuff like that. Now, I've seen that in a lot of older people. This was a young, seemingly healthy man.
Yeah.
So whatever happened to him, I think that it was done to him, regardless of what it was. And like I said, I still cannot see EMS checking him out, seeing that, and not taking him and leaving him there. And I cannot see a coroner's office not doing its thing that it's supposed to do and finding out what happened and why. So they were told not to. I mean, it's just as simple as that. And if I was Max's mom, I would be suing those people, because that should have been done right off the bat. So,
to not remove the body right away, does that sound like a ritual to you? Like they had to have certain times or dates or something happening, or not? I just don't understand why his body was left.
Yeah, that's suspicious, right?
Yeah, and we don't know that. That's something that, I mean, there was people that went to the police department there to find out these answers, and they weren't given anything. They were given a lot of hee-haw, run around. I seen a video. A matter of fact, it was almost not this same exact girl, but it was one that was done with his mom. And, you know, people asked questions, you know, and they didn't give them any answers.
How long was this body there? I mean, before they took him anywhere? 2 or 3 days?
No, they left him overnight there.
Oh.
They came and got him at like 11 o'clock the next morning.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
It is weird. I mean, they wouldn't do that here in the States anywhere.
No way.
No.
You're talking major lawsuit.
Unless they were told, you know. I mean, they could have been paid and told, like, hey, all right, this happened. You know, don't come back till tomorrow. And don't tell anyone. But somebody found out, and then, you know.
Right. All right. Back to it.
Okay.
Lying there with these people. I was on the phone to one of them, and I could hear in the background there were strange suggestions of things that should be done. Things like put milk by his side, and get garlic and put flowers and put vinegar, and very weird goings on. I could hear it being said. It sounded like rituals going on, some sort of satanic rituals. Then I found out that his body hadn't left the house until the following morning. She also said that one of the people in that group sent her a photo of Max after he died, and that there was this red mark that was on his forehead that looked like a blood blister or something, and that this mark was not mentioned in any of the first responders reports. So people think that, you know, after the first responders left, they were doing all kind of weird things with his body. I don't know. Monica sent her a picture of Max in a coffin wearing some kind of silk robe, and also she posted a picture of a satanic book with a phone SIM card next to it. Remember, his phone was returned without a SIM card, and the book was...
Wait, this lady sent his mother pictures of his dead body, pictures of a book with a phone card, a SIM card. Okay, what the hell is really going on here? Wow. Okay.
Titled Sacrifice, Magic Behind the Mic, and it's all about rappers like Kanye West and other rappers who are apparently involved in like satanic, you know, Illuminati, whatever you want to call it. If you look at his last speech that he did at the conference in Poland, he mentions that there's a slide, and it's in April 23, 2016. So that's a few months before he died. It's Super Soldier Summit, trauma-based mind control, occult rituals. Max was researching satanic cults before he died. More specifically, they were saying that he was researching a particular case.
What went on there was unbelievably heinous.
Okay. So explain also who is Michael Aquino.
He has no record of doing anything wrong. He was acquitted on every level of doing.
All right, that I didn't know. So he was researching Michael Aquino. Oh well, yes. That's a big mistake. That would make them all cover it up. Period.
There you go.
Wow.
Anything wrong. He knows very well who I am.
It is actually in the news. It's a real case that happened. Around 40 children were sexually abused, and the way they found out about this was that one of the kids tested positive for AIDS, HIV, and these kids were being abused by a satanic cult, and one of those people was a man named Michael Aquino.
And it's precisely that evil spirit that Aquino and his wife honor and invoke.
Hear now the legacy of the priesthood of Set. In the Diabolicon of the Age of Satan is recounted the primeval sundering of the cosmos. His high priest upon earth, name you to our fellowship.
We discovered that Michael Aquino is not all he seems.
Aquino!
For a start, he's a lieutenant colonel in the US Army and a specialist in psychological warfare, holding a top-secret military security clearance. Army investigators here at the Presidio base in San Francisco have now formally accused him of ritually abusing young children from the base's daycare center. One young girl says she was horribly abused by both Michael and Lilith Aquino at their nearby home.
A U.S. Army chaplain made an accusation of child molestation centering on us at the Presidio of San Francisco.
We have a copy of the police report, and the child appears to have identified you.
That's not true.
But as the police report shows, and the Aquinos know full well, the victim of that attack did identify them both as her abusers, to her parents, to her therapist, and to the Army. Since that original disclosure, at least 5 other children have made identical allegations.
And they've also told the Army investigators that they'd been in his house, and they disclosed what the inside of his house looked like.
He is known for being extremely vengeful and will go to great lengths to hurt and suppress anybody who is investigating him.
Lawyer Cynthia Angel tried to subpoena Michael Aquino for a child custody case after 2 more children alleged he'd abused them. Within days, she was kidnapped.
A stranger stepped into my car, pointed a gun at me, and told me to drive outside of town. I drove out of town, was shown a picture of a naked infant. I listened to a tape recording. There were infants crying, children crying, and adults chanting. I was told repeatedly during this drive that should I tell anyone what I see or keep investigating the case that I had been investigating, that I would be killed.
This lawyer was taken out into the desert at gunpoint.
Well, that's asinine in a nutshell.
It's that kind of stuff. It's that kind of stuff that is causing all the misery.
And it's a witch hunt in the classical sense.
It sounds insane, and that's because it is. I found this article from the LA Times in the archives from 1988, and it says here, San Francisco prosecutors have declined to bring charges against an Army officer and satanic priest who had been accused of molesting a 3-year-old girl. Deputy District Attorney Michael Williams said police were unable to verify allegations against Lieutenant Colonel Michael Aquino, a reservist and intelligence specialist, and Gary Hambright, a former Army daycare center employee. Williams said he believed the child's story, but the case was dropped because there were insufficient evidence to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. It says the girl told authorities she was driven to Aquino's house in the Russian Hill section by Hambright and was molested by a man she later identified as Aquino. The girl said one room in Aquino's home was painted black. Police found such a room. Aquino's Temple of Set, founded in 1975 as an offshoot of the San Francisco-based Church of Satan. He got away with it, and he was like mad that it even happened. So I tell you all this to say that people are saying that, you know, Max was investigating this guy and that this guy may have had something to do with it, and that is the whole Satan thing. Who was Max Spiers? Listen, he had some pretty far out ideas.
Coming to Poland has been tumultuous, to say the least. I have been under psychic attack, under astral attack, and under physical attack to stop me from coming to Warsaw
out of his own mouth
to be able to convey this information to you. I was born into a specific bloodline. With me, the trauma began whilst in the womb, whilst the fetus is inside the woman. If the mother is then traumatized, then that in turn traumatizes the child immediately. When the mind is fractured through trauma, whether it is sexual trauma, whether it is physical trauma, violence, the mind fractures itself and creates an amnesiac barrier around that. In these amnesiac barriers, they then can place triggers to then access the particular altar that has been created through the trauma. So you could theoretically create an assassin or a spy. So a spy or an assassin that doesn't know that he is a spy or an assassin is the ultimate spy or an assassin. Techniques used to do this are extremely graphic and extremely horrendous. King Charlemagne here. He was not a nice man. He displayed reptilian characteristics to the extreme. The makeup of everything around us is made from geometry, sound, light, and then physical. This is important to say.
He believes that he was part of Project Mannequin, a secret UK military program designed to create super soldiers. And the super soldier thing, it's not that big of a conspiracy. I mean, there's many videos about different countries trying to create this.
Brace yourselves for what I am about to tell you. China could be breeding genetically modified soldiers. You heard that right. The Chinese regime could be creating mutant soldiers.
The age of the cyborg super soldier is upon us.
boy.
DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, is developing an implantable device that can give military members control over jet lag and even direct neural enhancement of soldiers' brains, which could allow something akin to telepathy and push them closer to being the ultimate cyborg super soldiers.
We have cognitive enhancements. These involve pharmaceuticals, brain stimulation to reduce the need for sleep and increase the capacity to operate under stress.
You know that movie Manchurian Candidate?
Somebody put an implant inside me. I got a good feeling they put one in you too. I'm not crazy, Shaw.
Raymond Prentice Shaw. Listen.
It's a coup. This is rich people funding bad science to put a sleeper in the White House.
So Max believed that he was one of those super soldiers, and so when he died, the conspiracy theorists were like, oh my god, they switched him off because he knew too much, he was talking about this. So those are the two main theories that are floating regarding that somebody did this to him that was very big and powerful. But then there is another theory, something that we need to talk about, and that is Max and his mental health and drug history.
Did you worry about his mental health at any point?
Yeah, he suffered.
Okay, this is what I'm going to say. Anybody who gets put through these programs and tortured and goes through all this stuff, I think that when they say mental health or drug problem, I'm sorry, but I sympathize with some of them because a lot of times they've got all this going on through their brain, and the only way to chill it out is to get high.
To escape it, and they were already drugged, continuously. So it's not like they weren't already getting drugged. And then maybe the drugs, what they're doing is to try to escape the reality of what was happening to them at the same time.
Yes.
To forget. Yeah. Alcohol, drugs. Yeah.
I mean, we all know somebody who has gone through that.
Or somebody's. Yeah.
Yeah. And one in particular was tortured by AQUINO from a very young age into pre-adolescent ages. And to this day, he struggles a lot between that and the brain damage that he has.
Yeah, those memories of, and if, your brain resorts back to the memories of that is so traumatic.
Yes.
To think about. And so, alcohol, drugs can kind of ease that for a little while, like a little bit of a numbing,
Right.
So I understand. Yeah.
And this is somebody that we care about deeply. We really do. So, when I hear that he falls off of the wagon and does something, I can't be angry at him. I can't. Because he has gone through so much for many, many years, and he still to this day gets fucked with, you know, and it's horrible. So,
right. So seeing Max was, you know, it's not surprising at all. You know, it shouldn't be surprising at all if, you know, you're trying to numb something, you know.
I mean, it's hard, especially if they feel like they're doing it alone. Doing it alone is bad, because you get people that you try to trust, and then you find out that they are against you. You find people to be friends, and then they don't believe you. So basically, a lot of them are stuck to deal with this stuff alone. You know, it's really hard for them to find people that they can trust, that aren't honeypots or aren't after them for some reason or another, or, you know, something like that. So in a way, I can kind of understand when they do the things that they do. I'm not condoning drugs and alcohol. I don't do any of them, but I just say that you don't know what somebody's going through, and if you've never been in their shoes.
Or been in those programs, yeah.
Right. So criticizing them for what they're doing is not a good thing. We have another mutual friend that actually criticized this person for doing that, and it kind of upset me, because if you have never been chained to a chair and poked at and prodded at and, you know, frightened and tortured over and over again, you keep your mouth shut. You don't have a right to say anything. So, you know, that is just the way it is.
Amen, Brenda. Amen.
I agree with that.
So, yeah. Hi, Rain. So, back to Max Spears.
Is it coming on? Oh, you trying to get it?
Bubba?
Is it didn't come back on?
Oh, shoot.
This short
Sorry,
video
guys.
clip when he's on the trampoline, and the reason why he's...
Wait a minute. Let me bring this back.
Okay.
All right. There we go.
And powerful. But then there is another theory, something that we need to talk about, and that is Max and his mental health and drug history.
Did you worry about his mental health at any point?
Yeah, he suffered from anxiety, no question.
Make no mistake about it, Max was no saint. He did some recreational drugs, he drank like hell, and he had a good time.
This theory about him having issues with those things came out when his last ever interview was published to YouTube. This interview was done just a few days before he died, and it was published to YouTube just a few days after he died. First of all, it's mostly audio, but there is like this short video clip when he's on the trampoline, and the reason why he's on a trampoline is because he sounds like he's going in and out, he's slurring. I mean, he sounds high.
I'm quite tired, so just letting you know.
Yeah, you're tired, yeah. Let's talk about the procedural case. Okay. So explain also who is Michael Aquino.
He's a colonel. He is wow, am I saying that, do they?
You know, they were making that noise to kind of keep him awake because he was falling asleep.
Right.
He's a colonel. He seems to have a disdain for me. He doesn't like me very much. He knows very well who I am. I think that there will be at some point a showdown between him and I. We'll meet in 3D.
Mm-hmm.
I think we probably have already.
Okay, and Michael Aquino has a special army.
Yeah. Usually I wouldn't be talking about things like this.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very fringe and touchy subject.
So the interview is like an hour long. I'll link it down below. It's just kind of hard to sit through. He's just repeating things, and then they're stopping, and then they're starting again, and then at one point he goes to sleep. Like, I think even more than once he falls asleep. And so then they tell him to jump on the trampoline to freshen up. And that's when we see the footage of him jumping on the trampoline. Basically, when this interview came out, everybody was like, well, he sounds like he has a drug problem. Like, maybe drugs had something to do with this. And his mother even thinks that he sounds high.
I think he sounds as if he's got drugs in his system, no question.
The thing is, people are saying, well, was he high because he was using, or was he high because he was drugged? Was he poisoned?
I think he was given something.
Yep, I agree.
And that's where the black stuff came from when he died.
Yep.
They poisoned him.
And that's why they were trying to keep him awake. And yeah, she popped out again.
Look.
And why they kept on trying to keep him awake and do an interview. I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
This is the debate with that. This brings us to the other theory, which is that maybe his friends had something to do with it. You know, the ones that were acting weird and doing all these like rituals, and the mom heard it.
What I'm going to say right now is she needs to take off her tinfoil hat because she's hit the nail on the head.
Yep.
Just saying.
On the phone, they saw him acting like this. They were still trying to interview him. Like, what really was going on in that house in the days leading up to his death, and what were his friends' involvement in it? Friends. As all these theories were going out and rumors and online and all this was happening, right? That investigation was going on in the UK. And then a few years after his death, they had the investigation completed and they had this inquest hearing to reveal to the public like what they found and what the official story is about what happened to Max Spiers. So in this hearing, we heard from his mother. The mother told the court that he sent her this text message 2 days before he died. She even added that he said, "I think I might be murdered." Then we heard from Monica. People were accusing her of doing this and having some involvement in it. So she went silent. She was speaking to police, but nobody had heard from her. So this was like a big deal that she was coming out and speaking. She said she met Max at the conference that he was speaking in Poland, the one he went to. They exchanged numbers. He did not fly back like he was supposed to, and he began living with her. She said that after picking him up from his hotel, she took him to a doctor's surgery and bought him medication worth more than 1,500 Polish zloty, about 315 pounds. Monica said that, you know, he seemed to be having health issues, that he would have a hard time focusing or paying attention, and that one time she found him unconscious like on one of the deck chairs in her garden. She said she paid for his medical appointments and she bought him medicine, and essentially she was kind of like taking care of him, and that they had an intimate relationship. Monica lived with her teenage daughter, and so her and her teenage daughter and Max, they went to a vacation in Cyprus. And it was in Cyprus that he purchased, or actually he didn't purchase, he asked her to get the entire stock, which is about like 8 to 10 boxes of Turkish Xanax, which you could get without a prescription. Monica agreed. She bought the entire stock. And then when they got back to Poland,
So that last picture where you see Max and Monica, and that was Stuart Swerdlow in that photograph.
Right.
Okay. And his wife. Stuart Swerdlow was in the programs as well. And Stuart Swerdlow, I don't know if it was in Cheyenne Mountain or in Montauk, which one it was, but I think it was Montauk. Because AQUINO went after, during the Presidio stuff, he went to work at Montauk for a little while with the guy that was running the Montauk program. Now, Stuart Swerdlow did a couple videos on this, but he said that he was sent back, Michael AQUINO sent him back in time to go kill Jesus. Okay?
Right, Swerdlow.
Yeah, Swerdlow. So he's in that picture there with Max. He was living in Poland, or he was there in Poland at the same time, but he also, like, in that trip, he went back with a gun. He said he saw Jesus standing on the temple steps. Jesus looks at him and he freaks out and takes off running. So he can't kill Jesus, you know, and he gets back and he gets punished severely, which I'm sure that's more torture, you know.
Right.
And he's sent back again, another trip, and this time he's supposed to go back to the cross and get the blood of Jesus so that he can bring this blood back, and then they can clone Jesus. So, you know.
Okay.
And yeah.
First of all, Jesus
so,
is not going to let that
get
happen.
Weirder, it gets weird.
Jesus is not going to let anybody clone him. It's going to come out with 2 heads and hands for feet. So, I mean, that's you know, that's not going to happen.
There was a movie, what was it? There was a movie, it was about, oh gosh, I can't even think of the name of the program. It was about all these different gods that were like human, you know, and in one of them it shows a scene where they are cloning Jesus, and he's like psychotically crazy, and you know, and it's just this craziest movie. But yeah, they kept trying to clone Jesus, you know, and it was like a failed experiment, you know.
Right. God. People have got the dumbest ideas sometimes, I think. Wow.
Well, you know, if you were Satan, you know, what would you want to do? You go back and kill Jesus, right? So, you know, so
I would
Jesus
want to
said
be
to me
on
was,
God's best
you know,
behavior. Okay. I would want to behave. Obviously that's not his way, but you know.
But, you know, think about that. If you could go back and kill Jesus, you know, I mean, you know, maybe you could change the future or something, you know, according to the devil, you know.
Oh my gosh.
Only the devil could come up with something stupid like that. I'm just saying.
Where did you get that? Norma, are you still here? Your boyfriend's acting up. She calls Putin her boyfriend.
Montauk. Jason says Montauk. Yeah, he was in the Montauk chair, I guess. It's a word I used to talk about that a lot.
He stole a sock from somewhere, and I don't know where he got it. Uh-oh. And we're getting thunder, so don't be surprised if he doesn't start barking.
Stole it from the dryer. One of those missing socks.
Yeah, he's my dryer gnome. If he starts barking, I'm going to go ahead and mute because we're getting thunder outside, and he doesn't like it. He can't stand it. So. Oh.
Huh? Did you go back yet, or it's not
what?
on?
No, I was just listening to what she said, that he took 2 of the Xanax. And I was like, what? No. No.
Is it playing? Because I don't see anything.
Oh, shit. I did it again. I keep pulling it down.
I see you looking, but I don't see it. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Okay.
He asked her to get the entire stock, which is about like 8 to 10 boxes of Turkish Xanax, which you could get without a prescription. Monica agreed. She bought the entire stock. And then when they got back to Poland, the night he died, he took 10 of those tablets, which is a lot. And the reason why, according to Monica, he told her the reason why he's taking that much is because they're weaker. So in order to be the same dosage that he's used to from the traditional Xanax, he had to take that much. She saw him, he seemed fine, he had taken the pills, she left, and then like she came back to the living room and she noticed he was unconscious. That's when she tried to revive him. I noticed he had something in his mouth, some remnants of food. So I turned him onto one side and saw gastric fluids pouring out of him, brown liquid, like somewhat tea colored. Monica said she desperately tried to save him. She called the ambulance. She said, I would have done anything to save him. I really cared about him. I was deeply in love with him. It was also revealed that the first responders had to call the police to the scene because Monica was getting so angry and was not letting them leave once they pronounced Max dead. Like she wanted them to still try to bring him back to life, and so they had to call the cops for that. Then they brought the toxicologist out, and the toxicologist said that this Turkish Xanax is what caused his death, in addition to widespread pneumonia, and he had a fever the day he died, and so the fever with the opioids together is what caused his death. Then the coroner spoke out, and the coroner had a lot to say and was extremely critical of the Polish authorities and how they handled this. He said Max was a conspiracy theorist, and a well-known one at that. If there was anything that was bound to excite the interest of other conspiracy theorists, it was the wholly incompetent initial investigation into his death. He also criticized them for leaving Max's body overnight and how that severely hindered the autopsy, and that's why it was inconclusive, and that's another reason why people were like, what really happened? We found out that he has had a long history with drugs and that he was actually a heavy user. He was in the States when he had this injury to his pelvis. He like fell and whatever, he broke his pelvis, and they prescribed him painkillers. He then became addicted to those painkillers, and then when he couldn't get the painkillers, he would get street drugs, and that's how his addiction spiraled. And that actually, when he left to the UK to go to Poland, he was clean.
He came here, was as clean as a whistle, absolutely nothing wrong with him at all. That leads us to the point of when he went to Poland.
This brings us to the theory of the accidental overdose, right? What if, you know, he was clean, so his tolerance is now way low. Then he's also taking this foreign thing that he's maybe not familiar with, and he's taking an insane dose of it. What if he just couldn't handle that amount of thing? What if he had gone to Poland, he had relapsed, he was in this thing, they're going to Cyprus, they're buying this stuff, they're at this house, they're investigating all these things, like they're
taking all of that Xanax will explain why he sounded so tired when they were doing those interviews, because it'll make you sleepy. And so that kind of explains that part of it. So yeah.
Right?
In this whole thing, right? So what if it's just that? Okay, that's pretty likely, and I do think that's a major factor in it, but there's this thing about like, what were the friends doing afterwards that the mom overheard on the phone?
There were definitely people there, I could hear people there. The urgency team and the doctor and everything were long gone. They were trying to, all sorts of, I don't know what, to bring Max back hours after. They were talking about these strange things like cups of milk and cups of vinegar, and I could hear all this being said.
Why was the laptop wiped clean? Why was the phone wiped clean? Phone wiped clean. That brings us to the theory of the friends. The thing that really fueled this theory of the friends was leaked emails.
Emails from Monica Duval and Madeline Namro, who were friends with Max in Warsaw.
Mr. Christoph, I would like to ask you, would you be willing to help Max Spiers? I think that he needs an urgent help. He's aware of the state that he's in. We would really like to help him a lot. Then comes Madeline. She said Max Spiers suffers on personality disorder and paranoidal schizophrenia.
Wow,
and he's addicted to medicines.
The quantum therapist agrees to help, and he tells them that Max should take niacin or vitamin B3.
And it's pretty interesting because when you listen to his last interview that he did, when he sounded really high and out of his mind, he talked about his face burning.
My face feels on fire.
His face feels on fire.
A side effect that can come from niacin is like flushing or facial burning. So the theory began to emerge that maybe it wasn't intentional. Maybe they were giving him weird vitamins and stuff and natural remedies. Maybe they thought, oh God, what if people find out about these emails, or that we gave him stuff and now he's dead? Could it come back to us? Maybe manslaughter or something, involuntary manslaughter, maybe. And that's why they wiped his phone and wiped his laptop. Also too, the weird mark on his head.
I've been shown a picture by Vanessa of Max's dead body. On his forehead is this large, strange, sort of dark mark about the size of my thumb. It looks a bit like a blood blister. I've seen the emergency services notes, and there isn't any record of that.
In any case, regardless of these theories, the most important thing here is Max's mom, and she was really trying to find out the truth, and she wouldn't let the story die, and she would tell anyone who would listen, like, hey, he said something was going to happen to him, and then something happened to him. He told me to look into it, like, I gotta look into it, help me. And after the end of this official story from the inquest, she felt like she had closure. He had a belief system. A lot of what he questioned, I would have agreed with him on when it came to the government. It's when it got into otherworldly things that I couldn't follow. I don't hold those beliefs myself. The pneumonia was clearly a massive aspect of his death, which I hadn't realized. In a way, it was good to know that. I would love to know what you guys think. Do you think this was an accident? Was it an accident on his own or with his friends? Was it some satanic thing, super soldier thing? What do you think? Let me know. I think that it was a combination of what he took and also what his friends were giving him and him not being well and all of that together. I think that the friends may have wiped the computer and the laptop before the authorities took, because if they didn't even take his body till the next day, I doubt they took his laptop that time too, or his phone. Okay, they didn't even take his body. So they probably sat there, tried to revive him with all their like ritual stuff. It didn't work. Then they started being like, well, we gave him this and we told him to take that and there's emails about it. And then let's wipe it clean. Let's take the SIM card out. Maybe I could see that happening. So that's what I'm leaning towards. I don't think he was powerful enough or even fully there to be a threat to any real thing. The satanic thing is really weird, regardless of whether this Michael Aquino knew about Max or not. That in itself is like what happened there, and these guys are free and well, I don't know. I'm kind of afraid to like dive deep into that one. Thank you to Skillshare for responding.
Now,
Kind of afraid. Yeah.
I didn't know that Michael Aquino was so young when they dubbed him general. You're usually not that young as a general. So that kind of tells me that they basically kind of rushed him into things, you know?
Put him in a place where they needed him. Sometimes they can do that. They don't have to go through the ranks like regular people.
Yeah, exactly. That is so much. So I think that she is right about there was a bunch of factors in that with Max. The Xanax, whatever they were giving him. But I think that they did other things to him. Maybe, you know, I really think that whoever was there with him that night was definitely guilty. I really think that they should have had to answer for a few things. I think they should have investigated it a lot more than what they did.
It's like a combination of a whole bunch of things happening all at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a lot of drugs. A lot. I mean, for someone to be clean and then, you know, all of that layered on and the niacin to probably clean them out, because that does open up and it does make you hot and it makes your face. I've tried it one time. I was like, what the heck? I can't do this anymore. It wasn't to clean out drugs. It was just something that a doctor suggested, a holistic doctor suggested.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta, you know, even when I find natural stuff, because my doctor's really cool and he likes natural stuff too. So when I find something, I usually take it to him first. He goes in and makes sure that it can be taken with the medications that I'm already on.
Right.
So it doesn't cause any kind of reaction. Because you can still have reactions to natural stuff because I'm on 2 blood thinners and I have to stay on those for the rest of my life until something better comes along.
Yeah, I wasn't on anything, but some people are super sensitive to certain, even, you know, holistic stuff.
Yeah.
So it's the same.
Yep. I mean, it's like me with pain medication. I don't take it like I'm supposed to because I don't take it all the time. But I also have to take it with Benadryl because I am allergic to every kind of pain medication out there.
Wow.
And morphine stops my heart, so I can't have that either, or anything that's morphine based. So
my body flushes morphine out. It doesn't. My liver, as soon as I get it in, I'm flushing it right out my system.
I don't know why they keep making that. It doesn't really do everybody a lot of good. I've seen more bad reactions to morphine than I have good.
Yeah.
I used to take care of this lady in the nursing home, and they had taken her to the hospital, and they gave her morphine over there, and she come back. And this woman who has no strength all the time I walk in the room and she's standing on the bed, on her bed, talking really weird. And I'm like, Satan, is that you? It's like, I mean, I'm like calling the doctor across the street. There is something wrong with her. She was having a reaction to the morphine. I was like, oh my God.
Hospitals got to stop giving them to people, because that's when I got it, was when I had my surgery in 1998 for my, when I got run over on my leg. And
I mean, I tried to go in the room to get her off the bed, and she was throwing pitchers of water at me and throwing shoes at me. And this is a woman who was in a wheelchair that could barely stand up, okay?
Well, the morphine was making her do a lot more than...
It sure was.
Oh my gosh, poor thing.
I was like, good God.
You know, when you add everything up, so being poisoned directly would be maybe the lady, right? You know, but she had like a visceral reaction to the police showing and trying to leave and wanting him to come back to life. So does it add up? I don't know. The friends in the background seemed like they were trying to revive him. So does it add up? I don't know. The only thing that adds up is what Suzy was saying, is the astral attack and the thing in the middle of the forehead, and even him saying like, well, to investigate it though, how do you investigate that?
Yeah, that's something
if he was warning her like, oh, Michael is going to attack me in the astral, investigate anything.
I don't think he thought, I think basically what he was probably just had a feeling that something really bad was going to happen.
Okay.
They usually say like elderly people, they always know when they're going to pass away. They know before they pass away. And
well, I warned him 30 days before he died, Brenda, that not to go in the cave because the high priest was going to kill him. I already told him that. He said, you don't understand. I have to. I'm a time traveler. I have to do this. So I warned him, and I didn't even know who Michael Aquino was. I just called him the high priest from Atlantis. Okay. So, I mean, he knew in his soul what was going on, but he just felt that he had to do this anyway.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of factors in it, and it's a shame, he was a young man. He had a whole life ahead of him. Right, wrong, or indifferent, because of what he may have gone through, just like the rest of them in the super soldier program, what they go through. But I mean, I have noticed that a lot of the older people that were in the super soldier program, they're a lot more down to earth. They have a better grip on themselves than the younger ones do. The younger ones, I don't even know what's going on with them. They just, oh my God.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't.
No, I know who yeah. I couldn't even watch it after a while.
Well, there's those that are trying to figure it out and trying to piece it together and trying to figure out if it's a reality or if it's a virtual, scenario that's going on. And there's, they debate everything, but then there's those that just know everything and they want to be She-Ra, like, their altar or something like that, and go to conferences and dress up in costumes and I get the fun of that. Don't get me wrong. But it's just
I don't. Yeah, I don't, because why are they dressing in costumes? I mean, Furryville much?
Oh no.
Just saying.
No.
I just don't understand.
You think it's a fetish?
Yes.
Well,
that's what you're saying.
It is. It's a bad one.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't understand why they would dress up in costumes at a convention where they're supposed to be speaking about serious matters and stuff like that. I don't understand.
Maybe they went to the wrong place. They thought they were going to a Marvel something and ended up
Marvel convention. Jesus. Okay, so
The
what
next
time is it
video.
now? Yeah, we'll do the next video. The one about the Illuminati serial killers, military Michael Aquino. Is that it? That's the next one down.
The death of Michael Aquino. Do that one.
Oh. Well, all right then. Let me get out of this one then. Come on. What is this?
And then I want to read the text between me and Max, and you can put them on the screen after the.
Okay, this.
Me and
this
Max's
isn't
conversation.
It. This isn't it right there. That's not it. Get out of that. Get out of it. Get out of it. Dang it. Dropped me all the way to the bottom. I got to go all the way back up here again.
All right.
Oh, crap. Okay. There it is.
You get it?
Yeah. I'm just gonna.
All right.
I'm just trying to.
Not there yet.
No, it's not. It's not there yet because I was looking for the thing to make it bigger.
Okay, gotcha.
It's easier for you guys to see when I can make it bigger.
Right.
What the hell is this? Okay, there it is. Kind of freaked me out for a whole minute. Okay.
All right.
Finish him. Outstanding. Well done.
Oh my gosh. That's what the kid. That's what the video games are playing. The kids, you guys.
Right.
The death of Michael Aquino. Michael Aquino came when I was in Melbourne. I had just bought a ticket to Russia from Canberra, hoping to leave this country after realising the depths of the satanic agenda in Canberra. Arriving in Melbourne, I was a little stunned and excited to hear Michael Aquino talking. I could hear him with my communication skills, though surely after just capturing Rothschild, it was agreeable that these things were happening after years of anticipation. Michael was talking to other Satanists whom I will call Middleman and Wiley, assuring them that he had heard all I had been saying about himself and would make it his life goal to conduct psychological war on me until I was once again dissociative identity disorder. He also stated he would never stop until he had achieved this. As I listened to this, it seemed highly unlikely that what he was proposing was even possible. After all, my personalities had integrated, had they not? I felt strongly his endeavour was destined to fail at the outset, but I cannot deny a slight chill crept up my neck as I contemplated what I may be in store for in the coming days. This was Michael Aquino, the leader of the Temple of Set and formerly known as the Church of Satan, which was founded by Anton LaVey. I had delved into a little information around these people and decided they were poster boys and too out in the open to be my prime targets. I relished the attention I was now receiving from the satanic agenda globally. Michael Aquino, as many know, had worked for the American military developing psychological warfare and written theses on the possibility of controlling a population's minds with radio wave technology. However, I had just experienced the mind control technology being used around me in Canberra, so the information online around Aquino was outdated and such mind control technology had existed well before the time of his thesis, making these things a proxy or decoy. So Aquino proceeded to run through a lot of similar scenarios and harassment that I was well accustomed to, and quite rudimentary of MK stalking and harassment tactics. The big difference came in a scenario where Aquino tried to attack my confidence/self-esteem. And prove as well as rub it in my face that I was incapable of using violence against Satanists. However, this plan backfired on Aquino, and through a violent instance I enacted on a Satanist, I was able to release myself of residual hypnotism I wasn't really aware I even had. After defeating my Satanist enemy in an alley in Melbourne, I felt noticeably different and have enjoyed this freedom of mind ever since. Suffice to say, Aquino was capable of thinking outside the regular box which I was used to from other Satanists who had harassed me all my life, a shaker and stirrer, so to speak, a player in satanic circles, though ultimately the things which he did whilst acting outside the box led to only further progression for myself and his own demise. The denomination of Christianity known as the Brethren have employed me in the past at certain times, right from school leaver age to more recently before I came to Australia. I had become aware of this effort to help me and thought very highly of these splendid Christians. Unfortunately, since then it has been exposed the Brethren are Satanists and Anglo-Saxon Satanists who practice what I call, quote, satanic family dynamics, unquote. That is, they commit incest and pedophilia as per satanic rituals. They also invoke demonic spirits, and some, if not all, have these attached to them in some way. However, at the time of Aquino's efforts, the Brethren were enjoying #1 spot for Christianity in my life. There was of course one problem I could not help but contemplate, which was whether or not they were cowardly. Having learnt my thoughts on this as they kept regular contact with the Anglo-Saxon satanic hierarchy who utilises the all-seeing eye, a mind-reading technique, they became eager for a chance to prove their worth in such circumstances. So, a few weeks, perhaps a month, but no longer I would think, Aquino had exhausted his avenues and made severe mistakes in his approach, as the example I have written here. However, it was the Brethren attained custody of Aquino, and one day when they talked to me via my communication skills, they had Aquino and wanted to prove they had what it takes and would kill for this. Obviously that would go without saying in light of their deception. Aquino, interestingly enough, went down to, quote, tune in to 666, unquote, the same as Rothschild, and while he remained in this execution position, the Brethren known as Mitch, to myself, proceeded to draw a long sword-like blade and pierce it through his heart area. This of course immediately bled quite a lot, and Mitch became quite loud and boisterous, raising his voice and exclaiming to me how, see, we got guts, mate, we can kill. He then drove the blade in deeper, as it was not right through his body and sticking out. After he drove it in deeper, it may have poked out through his back, and Aquino had fallen back and lay more to the right side. The Brethren then repeated his phrase, and he came out of the hypnotic trance to find a sword through his heart. He then gurgled and choked, or strained somewhat, managing to get the words, "You won't get away with this," and proceeded to die. He managed to utter some more words in a weaker fashion about dirty bastards before he perished. So that was the demise of Michael Aquino, leader grotto of the Church of Satan and decorated former member of the American military. Interestingly enough, this would also have Aquino in the Aryan Nazi branch of Satanic Agenda.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
You know, here's my thought on that. Okay, so, you know, he's talking about a certain brother of Christians that are like in Utah. That's what he's talking about. Okay, the Utah. Right? And so he's saying, you know, they believe in, you know, incest within their denomination, which he doesn't find very Christian. Okay. And then also in the movie Apocalypse Now, you know, where Martin Sheen, I guess it was Martin Sheen played that part. He goes in to kill Marlon Brando, who's Michael Aquino, right? Well, Chet told me when he went into Cambodia to get him, he didn't get him, you know, he didn't succeed his mission, right? And what's weird about that, though, Brenda, is, and everybody, right? This is why I'm talking to Brenda all week about this, because this kind of blows my mind, is in the movie Apocalypse Now, he shows up. Chet said when he showed up there, he flew in on a helicopter. When he got there, there was dead bodies everywhere, Americans, everything. And in the movie, Martin Sheen is going past like what they're doing, like they're slaughtering this cow, and there are people running around like some kind of crazy Satanist thing going on in the movie, right? And he's going up to get him. Well, Marlon Brando's sitting there talking about catching an airplane or something. Now this guy is talking about he was going to catch a plane from to Russia, right? And he's with this brother named Mitch. And so in the movie, Martin Sheen is carrying a sword, and he stabs Michael Aquino to death with a sword. Now you got to remember, this movie, Apocalypse Now, was made way before Michael Aquino actually dies,
Right.
and so now it's showing how he's going to die with a sword running through him, and then this video, and what's weird is if you read in the Bible where it says, "Oh, Lucifer, thou art fallen for heaven," and it talks about, I think it actually says something about a sword being run through him or something in the Bible now, and I'm like, what the heck, I mean, this stuff, you can't even make this stuff up. It's just like insane. It's almost like it was a prophetic movie about how he was going to die with a sword. I'm like, it's crazy.
Guess he should have watched it, huh?
Huh?
I said, I guess he should have watched it, huh?
Oh, it's insane. Oh gosh, yeah, crazy.
So what else did you want to do now? Oh,
okay. I had a couple texts I wanted to show.
Yeah, they're not really. I mean, you can't really.
I can read it.
Okay.
Yeah, I can read it. The first one, I'll go ahead and if you just pop it up there.
Yeah.
I just want to show. One of the things that we had with a certain individual living at my house was somebody saying one thing and somebody saying another thing, but your text proved the truth, right?
Right.
So sometimes you have to have the receipts or the proof of the text or something to show, something, right. You're not just saying it, right? It's just like not making it up, right?
Right.
Because anybody can say anything. Okay, so if you look at this text at the top, it says Max Spears. I met Max I saw him on Facebook. He was posting something about he used to be a high priest of Atlantis. And immediately I already knew what the deal was. And I said, did you meet Jesus and die in a cave in Atlantis? And he said, how do you know that? And he said, private message me. So we went to Messenger, and this is a screenshot from our conversation a little bit. And it says, because it's broken up a little bit, so it won't be in the right order that it was said, but I'm just going to read it to you. And then he says, no, I didn't. The same thing happened in this life, but significantly different. He's talking about that life in Atlantis and this life were, kind of the same but different.
Right.
And then I said, I was talking about Atlantis. I said, the gold that you found, where you were living, you were studying deep stuff. Jesus told you, see, in that lifetime, he was working under Michael Aquino in Atlantis, and one of his jobs was to go around and check on people. Although he didn't know that Michael Aquino was a bad guy. Okay, he was just that's what it was, and he was looking for gold. Now something was weird the other night when I listened to James Casbolt on Rob's show. James Casbolt was talking about that Max was always looking for money. And I thought, oh my God, that's so weird, because that's what happened in Atlantis. He went to this cave where he knew there was some gold because he was needing some money. Okay. And I said that. I said, the gold that you found, okay, in the cave. And what happened is the cave door shut on him. And then he met Jesus in that cave. And I said, Jesus told you in the end what would happen, And so go on to the next text. Let's see what there's two. Okay. I don't know where it says at the top, greeting. Oh, that was the first one, greetings. And he said, how do you know these things? He wanted to know, how did I know this about him? And I'm like, I said, you're my hero, I mean, hey, I just knew him for like 5 seconds and I already told him he was my hero, right?
Right.
Who does that? Who does that, right? I'm like, and then he goes, notice the word hero, her son, right?
Right.
Okay. And I said, I read your life story, Max, when I heard you speak, um, let's see, it or they tried to something, I don't know. They used to worship the sun in Atlantis. Okay. That's another thing I think I was talking about. But anyway, I told him, I said, Max, basically you got to stay away from certain women and also the high priest. And he's like, who's the high priest? I said, I don't know who he is in this lifetime because I never even heard the name Michael Aquino at that time. And I said, but there were certain women that were going to be bad influence in his life. And then he said, and then I said, and you can't go back in that cave because if you go back in that cave, you're going to die. Michael Aquino's going to kill you. And you stay around certain women.
Is going to kill you.
Yeah, the high priest, which is the same. Yeah, but yeah. After it happened, then I immediately knew because Jesus told me that the high priest of Atlantis was Satan. So I didn't know who he was in this lifetime until this Max stuff came out with Aquino.
Okay.
That's when I figured it out. So he said, I'm a time traveler. How would it be possible to complete this work without it? PI 314, right? And then another text he says, I said, you're not bad, Max, but you just make bad choices. You just made bad choices. That's what I told him. He said, I am nowhere near bad. I am heart. He said, I don't think that you know what has gone on. And he said, choices, question. I just know that this life, I just know that life in Atlantis. I told him that's all I know, but I'm sure that this life must be the worst battle yet. I told him for him, this will be the worst battle, right? And then he went on to say, I told him about the different women. I said, you caused each other much pain in that life. And he said, the difference is I forgive and the dark does not. I understand vengeance, following through many lifetimes. Okay. This stuff it's like connected because, one of the things he said to me, he says, do you know who I am? And I said, well, I'm Joan of Arc, basically. And he said, I passed on the energy from the above person to complete a 2,000-year cycle, and they're trying to demonize me now and make me the bad one. Because I told him what Jesus said in that cave to him was that he would have to live for 2,000 years, and it would take him that long to work out his karma, a 2,000-year cycle. But in the end, he would be okay. And when he said, I didn't just meet Jesus in that cave. He said, I was to carry the Christ consciousness throughout my life. And so that's what he had told me. So, all right, I have another text also. Let's see. Okay, there's a picture of Martin Sheen with a sword that they used in the movie. Do you have that?
I don't know.
Should be a little bit further down. There it is. Yeah. So that was in the Apocalypse Now. So that's they show that in the movie how he's killed with a sword, which I find that truly fascinating that was in the movie. Yeah.
Hey.
Pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah. Nutoid.
So anyway, I wanted to put that out there. Now I did have some text from Sarah and stuff, but basically that was just, Max and her talking, and then Max texting back and saying he was, running a fever and he'd been to a strange place, and you know. And basically he was, you know, telling Sarah he loved her, and, you know, so, you know, but, you know, that's, so when Sarah said all that stuff, Sarah was telling the truth about all that, you know, I'm just saying, you know. So.
All right. Was that all you wanted to add?
I think that's it. I think that was it. Anybody want to talk? Talk.
Yeah, let me
I'll
see.
listen.
Because I'll make it brief. You know, the military I looked up or naval bases don't normally have childcare because it's too hard to employ and it's not real common. So when you have a military with childcare and a general that's a Satanist, that just seems like a really bizarre combination there. You know, that should not happen.
You do have them in the Army.
They do have them in the Army?
Yes.
Okay, and this was a military, this was a naval base or a
Presidio military base, yes.
military? Okay, then. And then also, like, because there's people that are satanic that claim that, you know, Satanists do not believe in sleeping with children. You know, that's one of the commandments or something like that in there.
Well, that's a lie. They've done overstepped that.
It's the Luciferians that are doing it. You know what I mean? Like,
there's a difference between Satanists and Luciferians.
I want a clarification myself from Suzy, or if there is.
My thought,
two groups.
My thought it.
Or was that?
Well, my thought was, okay, Michael Aquino made some weird comments about Anton LaVey and the Church of Satan. And this is why he created his own religion or a sect called the Temple of Set, which was completely different than the Church of Satan. Is according to him. He thought that the Satanists were weak or whatever. I don't know. They didn't have a good program or whatever. So, yeah.
Well, then that might be your difference then.
And maybe. I do want to go back, and maybe others would like to as well, because I think there's enough geeking out on body language and stuff like that in other videos, you know, that we can kind of follow body language a little bit ourselves. And then there's neurolinguistic programming and stuff like that if you've researched it and stuff. But I would like to go back and look at their facial expressions a little more when the wife was talking and when, you know, Michael Aquino was talking, because their blink rates went up.
Oh yeah. I seen that.
Mm-hmm.
What went up?
It was
blink rates.
Yeah.
Michael Aquino said, I didn't notice the wife's though. I have to go back and rewatch hers. She almost seemed like she was.
Oh, her eyes bugged out.
She kept pointing forward. She kept
it's
pointing
not true.
forward.
It's not, you know, stuff like this. Yeah.
So.
I'm
going to go back and rewatch.
There you go.
See what I can, because it just seems like there's something there to see.
Yeah, she got a little irate. She was angry when they said that the kids named them, and she says it's stuff like this, and she got all bug-eyed, and she
jumped in super quick to that.
Yeah,
like no. And so she was
no,
like,
they
you know,
did
she
not,
did
what she said. No, they did not. And they did.
Actually,
And actually, Michael Aquino made comments later on in some other shows. He did some other shows. How he basically got pretty freaked out about, you know, all the charges against him and the pressure that he went under. And he moved from Presidio over to Montauk at that time. And that was kind of a big disruption in his life. And that made him very nervous to be under all that, you know, stuff going on.
Yeah. Right. Hi, Scott. You're a little late. We're getting ready to wrap it up. But yeah, because we've been on now our 2 hour, we're actually 20 minutes over.
Well, you know what's weird about that though, Brenda, guys, is this whole thing with Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley claims that he's going to come out against the Rat Pack, which is Sammy Davis Jr., Frank Sinatra, and you know, Jerry Lewis, and all these Satanists, right? And he testifies against them, and then So, and then he goes into hiding after that. Well, which is weird because there's a lot of pictures of Sammy Davis Jr. With Michael Aquino and stuff, and then him saying he was publicly saying he was a Satanist and all that. So I mean, it was not just in the military; it was in the politics. It was also in the Hollywood.
Well,
and I mean, it was pretty widespread.
The thing of it is Elvis didn't go after the Rat Pack because of Satanism.
Testified.
He was going, yes, but that was against stuff from mafia type things. That
There was mafia involvement. Yes,
yeah.
But they were all, look at the whole mafia thing is working for the CIA as assassins. I mean, the hands of death, and I mean, they're all connected.
Some of them ran booze, some of them ran drugs, some of them did, and that's what he was going after them for. It wasn't over Satanism or anything. It was over.
I know what you're saying, but he was, not that he was any kind of hero or anything like that. I'm saying, he wasn't trying to be a spiritual hero.
His father was mafia. Elvis's father was mafia.
Yes. Yeah.
And my dad knew that before they painted that portrait of me sitting on Elvis's lap when I was a kid. So, he grew up. They were right there in Memphis, Tennessee, where my dad's family was. So,
right? And Scott just said something, Brenda, about Bob Joyce. I can about 99% say that Bob Joyce is definitely Elvis. I mean, the voice is there, the mannerisms there. And I met Bob Joyce, and I personally do not like Bob Joyce. He gave me a very ugly look when I asked him some questions, and I saw something
because you were asking questions.
It doesn't freaking
Suzy,
matter what I was asking.
When you are in a relocation program, it doesn't matter how nice you are. You are there because to protect your life.
There's no excuse for being nasty.
When somebody comes in and starts asking questions, then they don't know. You could have been.
Well, I think he's a freaking reptile. Okay, that's my opinion. He's a reptilian, all the way. It's a phony. Yeah.
Anyways,
and you can laugh and you can whatever.
No, I
but
do because you don't understand.
I believe
witness
it.
Relocation. You
I
don't
do understand witness. I do understand it,
but it has a lot to do.
No,
with
you don't sell your soul. You don't. I don't give a shit. You don't sell your soul. You don't sell your soul.
No,
yeah, he did.
He didn't. No, he
did.
did. To go into witness
Yes,
relocation program. So did I sell mine?
I don't know. Did you? You told the truth, didn't you? As far as I know.
I did. After so long, until I was allowed. He's not allowed. So
I don't. It doesn't really matter to me whether he is or not. It's just he's living with it now. So that's. I don't like the guy.
When you're put in relocation programs,
I got a bad feeling about him. Always had a bad feeling about him. I never. Never. Well, yeah. But not my cup of tea.
Okay.
Don't like him.
My gut says a lot of the people in the relocation program.
I listen to my gut, Brenda, and my gut is telling me all bad, and I'm not going to ignore that. Just like someone else we know that was a copper venomous snake. Okay.
Oh, I did not listen to my gut.
Years. I did not listen to my gut, and neither did you, and it almost got you killed. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not ignoring that anymore.
It's not that I didn't listen to my gut because my gut was telling me the whole time, but
you didn't listen.
But
you did not listen
because you were friends. I wanted to make sure that
it didn't matter. You were on the phone with her all the time talking. You told me how much you loved her and you admired her. You just like I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You loved her.
Anyways. All right, guys. Remember,
it is what it is.
Starting next week, we are going to start doing shows during the week with Chad. We are going to Chad and I are going to get together on Sunday and go over some of the stuff that he's done, that he has. How did you say it, Chad? some of the stuff you had on certain things. So we're going to talk about those, and we're going
Yeah,
to.
I have a lot of ideas. I mean, just as far as shows, because there's a lot of things I like to geek out on and look into, kind of like Suzy and everybody else.
I have always said
So
that geeks are my favorite people in the world.
I love going. So you know, but I also like to debate things too a little bit. You know, I don't like to pretend like I know and I'm promoting something, an idea. I just like to, you know, I like us to put all our minds together and come up with our own conclusions with it, but provide that evidence, sort of debating in a way. But
hey, I'm up for it. And Sherry is a well-rounded person on a lot of subjects. A lot.
A lot. You don't know all of them. I don't share everything.
I know.
That'll be fun then. Yes.
I know. We just
Not
all
get
sit here.
embarrassed.
Look, all four of us can just sit here and throw all kinds of things together.
No,
See?
seriously, yeah.
That's how that works.
That's fun. Well, when you got it to banter and you got more people that are like-minded and to talk about it, makes it easier. If you're doing it solo, it gets, you know, boring after a while.
Yeah. I just sit there and go boo 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 boo.
Well, that's what I was doing. And then when you had a call out for help, I'm like, I can actually.
I know this stuff.
And ultimately, too, it's to lift the veil up a little bit more because there's so much information out there.
Yeah.
That you can geek out on. It's nice to put the pieces together and sort of see the bigger picture, you know, and you can't really do that.
And politically, you know, and I wouldn't really worry about Chad. I'm the one that usually
Now, Brenda, wait a minute. I got to say something. Not all reptiles are bad. Okay. Like we got snakes out here that eat other snakes. So, you know, I'm not against all reptiles, but you know, reptiles are reptiles. Okay. Just saying.
I've not met a nice one. Well, I guess you could say maybe I have, because when I'm in the grocery store and one notices me and it's staring me down and I smell it, it knows I know what I'm thinking. It knows what I'm thinking. And it doesn't try to eat me there in the store. It runs to the meat department. So, but yeah. Boy, those things are.
Well, not all snakes are bad snakes. Okay. Just saying.
I used to sit there and think to myself, do I have to carry a bottle of perfume with me to the store? And whenever I smell those, when they come by me, spray them. Just, you know.
Just walk around.
Well, I guess because I used to sit there and think everybody could smell them. And then I found out that no, not everybody can smell them. That it's unique when you can smell them. That you have that ability to be able to smell them. Because
once you know, but like you were around.
Yeah.
You saw them when you were younger, and here's the thing: probably people can smell them, but they just don't know what it is they're smelling.
Yeah,
you associated it with what you knew. Yeah.
Yeah. They might think, well, it's the air outside or something. You know, it's
or they
like
think that the person just smells bad. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and it's like the smell of death. That is something that you never, ever forget what that smells like. Ever. So once you smell it once, you always know what it is. So I know the lady down the way here from me, she passed away in her house. Nobody had heard from her for like a whole day. And they called my landlord, and she made her way over there and said that she opened the door and she couldn't believe how bad it smelled in there. And so she went in looking for her. And I said, do you not know what the smell of death smells like? And she said, no, actually, I didn't. Because had I opened that front door, I would have automatically known. I would have closed the door and said, you need to call the police and you need to call other people down here because she is not alive. I will tell you that right now. Yeah. So, and not knowing the situation, I wouldn't have wanted anybody else going in there or touching anything. So, but yeah, that is and so reptilians, if you ever smell one and you know what they smell like, you never forget what they smell like, ever. And when they are in human form, when you see them in human form, they still stink. There is no covering it up. There is no
That puts a
amount
whole
of
new
old
meaning to
spice.
bad BO, right? Bad
Huh?
body odor. That puts a whole new thing to bad body odor, right?
Oh God.
Okay, so I'm curious, are most of them tattooed and pierced? I don't have a prejudice or anything like that against it. I'm just wondering, because whenever I see someone fully tatted and pierced, I'm just kind of like, reptilian. They're
I have tattoos, and I'm not a reptilian.
yeah, I
I've
mean
got 'em too.
tatted up though.
Yeah.
Oh no, I just have
Face
my
tats
arm.
and the neck tats and the
I
arm
will
tats.
tell you that I've never seen one tattooed. They usually look like they try to fit in, and they usually try to be like, you know, a Mr. AJ Squared Away, the ones that I've seen. And I've, you know, I gotta say that there is one time that I had met a guy years ago when I was in California. I was out with some friends shooting pool, and there was a guy in there, and he was tatted from head to toe. And I noticed when he was around that I could smell that smell.
Hey, that might be the difference between the good snake and the bad snake. You know, the tattoos, no tattoos. You know, I don't know.
I mean, the guy was nice enough and courteous and excused me. He was polite, but I just wanted to stay away from him and leave because I knew what I smelled. So I was like, you know.
So sometimes I feel energetically, I can look at people and they seem more, they got the reptilian energy or something, let's say, and the way they process things and do things. And I'll look at somebody and say, okay, they got a dolphin energy, definitely, or they got a this energy. You know, you can kind of sense those things. I think that's what I was thinking of. People that are fully tatted and do all that kind of like freak show stuff, you know, they kind of do have that reptile, like maybe they come energetically from that experience. I don't know, because it seems like there's a lot of different types of souls in our bodies. I don't know. And you're talking about literal reptilians that are shape-shifting.
Yes.
And I think, yeah, there's a difference between the two, you know, because we all come in amnesia, stuff like that. So it doesn't matter where you come from, you're going to have a human experience if that's what you want to have coming through. But if you're not if you're a shapeshifter or something like that, that's something totally different.
Gotcha.
Jason, what are you in there saying?
Like my face. I just
Jason.
He's talking about the lizard guy, and he snorted a condom and then coughed it out. That's why I said gross. My face. I went, ah.
Oh, Jason.
Quite a nasal passage there.
What am I going to do with him?
And Brenda saw me reading.
I happened to look over and see what he was putting. I was like, Chad's talking, and I'm over here trying not to bust out laughing. And Jason, leave it to Jason, you guys.
But I'm still reading and commenting.
Oh, Jason, when you see Woo, you tell him. Tell him.
My bad.
I'm going to come and get him. He hasn't been around lately. I don't know what he's doing. Jason, my bad. Jason, it wouldn't be the same if we didn't have you cracking jokes in there. But I dated a guy one time before who was tattooed from head to toe too. So, you know, we called him, his name was Tattoo Tommy. That's what we called him.
Oh gosh,
Tattoo Tommy.
That was his Tattoo Tommy.
You know, that's Tommy is another name for the moon.
Huh?
Tommy is another name given to the moon. Thomas, yeah.
I did not know that.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I think the son likes to be called Jeff.
The son?
I heard that somewhere, yeah.
Really? I know, that sounds weird, but, you know.
Call me Jeff.
Yeah, interesting. Call me Jeff.
Call me Jeff.
I picture it, you know, Jeff, California.
That's funny.
So I can go outside in the
All
daytime.
right, Jeff, chill out.
I can
Jeff.
go out, I can go out in the sun in the daytime and say, "Damn, Jeff, you're hot," and hope my neighbor's name isn't Jeff.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I hope that it is.
He'll be running over my landlord. You're one-legged
Well, Jeff
woman
needs to
over there.
chill
That
out in
girl,
Texas.
you called me hot. My landlord be like, "Yeah, well, you know."
Hey, no, wait, that's my name. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh my God. Putin, what are you doing? He's sleeping on my bed on the floor now. Yeah, he's so lazy. I'm surprised he hasn't bothered me to go to bed. If this dog had it his way, we would be in bed. We would be in bed 22 hours a day. Yes. When I'm sick and I'm in bed, oh, he is just as happy as a clam because we are staying in bed.
It's going to be pretty Jeffy tomorrow, it says. Jason says it's going to be pretty Jeffy tomorrow.
It's going to be pretty Jeffy tomorrow. Yeah.
Funny.
That's okay. Suzy chases Tom all over all over her side, all over her place.
Yeah, I run Thomas off all the time. Yeah.
Run Thomas off.
But yeah, it'll be pretty interesting. This week I'm gonna start doing more shows. We'll still have our ones on the weekends, and Chad and I are gonna do a few during the week so that I could start pumping out more shows. And then I'm going to learn how to do shorts so I can start doing TikToks of the show. So
Yes, Jason.
So when Jason does something silly and we talk about it and laugh, I can make TikToks of it. So Jason, you're going to hear your name on the TikToks. You know that, right?
Jason said, "Isn't it a black moon tonight?" You know what, guys? It's supposed to be some creepy ass black moon tonight. Everybody's freaking out about. I don't know. Yeah, some kind of weird. The black moon. You didn't know that?
They said
the black moon.
They said it happens.
Thomas is going dark.
Wait. They said it happens every 33 months, but there was math that was done.
33 Masons. That's because we were talking about you know who tonight. That's why the moon went black.
No, it was supposed to be black tonight. You just
well, we were supposed to talk about that tonight. It was destiny. You know that everything happens for a reason. You know.
I've never even heard of that. So that's new.
Well, they said it happens every 33 months. And they said the
33.
last time was
imagine that number
in 2024. And I was like, I didn't hear about this in 2024 or 2023 or 2022. So
I never heard of that. And I used to follow a lot of the.
Well, you weren't part of the 33 club, you know.
Well, I wouldn't want to be. Thank you. I have no interest in that. Not at all.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Me neither.
I would be
It was a
like,
need to
look
know
this
basis.
way while I
Oh,
go
but
that
Sherry,
way.
you could have lots of money, lots of jewels. You can
No.
travel
Yeah.
to fancy
Oh,
places.
no, Chad.
Sell your soul for a jelly roll.
I grew up. Okay.
Mhm.
So I grew up like that. I grew up. I have an uncle that was like that. So, you know, and it's not all glamorous as you think.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
I guess it just
I wonder-
depends how much you want to sell.
Yep.
That's true.
Yep.
That's true. Oh my goodness. Or buy.
I'm sorry, I'm a little restless. I have back issues this week because I've been doing shoveling,
Oh,
and sitting is the hardest thing.
My phantom pain on my right leg is irritating me today. Actually, it's been irritating me for 2 days. So, but I did go to my doctor the other day, let everybody know that my blood flow to my foot has gotten a lot better. It's pink again. It's stronger. And my vascular doctor said, I don't have to see you till next year. I'm like, okay.
Awesome.
nice.
That's great.
Like,
Good news.
so, yeah.
I think you need a placebo for your phantom leg.
I need something for my phantom leg. But they say that
Something
the
that's
reason,
going to trick the mind into thinking that you're
Yeah.
medicating it.
Especially when I wake up in the middle of the night and my leg that's not there, the calf has got a Charlie horse.
Wow.
That's let me tell you how bad
I
that
guess that's your,
is.
and you know what? When you're in the spiritual realm, Brenda, you probably have both your legs. You're probably
I
in
do.
the astral. You got both. Yeah.
I do.
So you
I
do have it. It's just not in the physical, but it's in the
And your-
spiritual. Yeah.
Yeah, and your cells obtain memory, just like water obtains memory.
Yeah.
And your cells do. And my cells remember a lot of the different things that would go on. Like, oh, here's a funny one. I got too close to my bed the other day going around there, and it hit the right side of my wheelchair. The pain I felt came from my big toe, like I stubbed my toe.
Oh, weird.
Dang.
And I didn't, yeah.
That sounds like you're very spiritually connected to your spirit. Yeah.
Well, spiritually, they need to give me back my leg they took from me and quit abusing it, because
There you go.
whatever they're doing to it is bothering me.
Give me my leg back.
Although at this point, it's been what, 2016, so yeah, it's kind of been too long, so it's probably rotted anyways.
You just have to grow out a new one, you know.
Yeah, you need a new.
I keep doing that thing where, you know, you blow your thumb and it's supposed to pop things out, and it doesn't.
There you go.
work. It's not working.
Just
The only
keep
thing
practicing.
I just blow real hard and fart, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't grow it out. But all right, everybody, we are gonna get out of here. Look this week for us to be starting the new shows, and yeah, should be fun. And you don't have to worry about getting in trouble, Chad. It's my name's on the account, so the FBI always come to me.
Okay.
Yeah, don't even worry about it. I don't worry about it.
We'll behave. We'll behave. We'll be mindful.
Yeah, I just shut the door in their face, tell them I don't understand what they're talking about, and close the door. So, you know.
I'm off grid, so.
I don't think they like me very much. They're like, I am not going to her house. You go. She's mean.
She's mean.
She's mean.
She's mean or acts retarded or something, because she never understands what we're talking about.
Oh, I never
Right?
invite us in for coffee and donuts. Yeah.
Yeah. Go to the door with naked. You want some coffee and donuts? You're like, no, we're good.
Wrong house. Wrong house. Back up.
Go ask for a raise. Get out of here. God. But all right, guys, we're going to get out of here. You guys have a good rest of the weekend, and be careful. And like always, y'all, please be kind to one another. Unless you're a
Good night, everybody.
Then kick him in the knee. Oh, good night, guys.
Good night.